Maybe you want to do an introduction? You just have to say...
GG!
That's his line.
No, that's my line. You don't steal my line.
Well, you can ad-lib.
You can ad-lib. Yeah, you can make it your own.
Okay.
An intro. It's just
An
it's
intro.
an intro, yeah.
Yeah.
What's up? How are you guys? Eso no me sale. The Mouthful, what?
The Mouthful podcast.
No.
Now I kind of want to hear she says it.
I
though.
know. We were hoping that you were going to say it. You were going to do it.
That'll be
All you
great.
got to do is like, welcome everybody to episode one.
Mouthful, like a mouthful.
It's
The mouthful. Yeah, it's a mouthful. It's a mouthful.
Mouthful of what?
It's the Mouthful podcast. That's what it's called.
The mouthful.
The Mouthful.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Mouthful podcast. Is that what it is?
Yes.
And then episode
142.
142.
Episode 142.
Or you can say, welcome to episode 142 of Gigi's Mouthful podcast.
No.
So that will be our
Just
Podcast.
mouthful. Just mouthful podcast. You don't have to say GG.
Well,
the Mouthful
what's
podcast.
the number again?
142.
142. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the podcast 142. GG!
Making pancakes. Making pancakes. But you know, fall for body. Making pancakes, making pancakes.
That is great. GG!
Hey, everybody!
Thanks so much, guys, for tuning in. That was, of course, the lovely Miss
Judy Brito.
Judy Brito. I was gonna say Judelka, but I don't know if she was saying
Sure.
Judy Brito.
That's her stage name.
Yes, that's right. That's her stage name. Welcoming us to the episode 142 of the Mouthful Podcast. Thanks so much for tuning in. With me, of course, is Mr. David Santos, aka Dream Twister.
Oh, yeah. I'm happy to be here as well.
Also happy to be here.
Yes.
Awesome. If this is your first time listening, guys, please go. First off, like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone. And then also go to goodgame.tech and join the conversation there. It takes you right to our Facebook group. And we will let you in, as we always say. You're very welcome.
I love the fact that our group keeps growing little by little, but it's growing. I see a lot of more participation. I see names that I don't recognize
I'm
before.
like, this
I
is
was
great.
like,
Yes.
Yeah. So we're off to a great start.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think people are starting to heed us and help us, and when we tell them, hey, tell your friends,
let them all know.
we want to make it legit. We don't want to be like advertising, just to get like people bots, Russian bots.
Fake bots
Yeah.
and fake accounts and all this, which we get a lot of.
Yeah, exactly. We turn them down because
Yes.
we want
We don't
real
want fake
humans.
numbers. Yes, we want real numbers.
We don't want replicants.
I
Actually,
don't know.
that's racist against replicants. I apologize.
So I don't know. I think I would want some replicants.
Okay,
Replicants matter, sir.
Replicants' life matters.
Yes, that's right.
I'm okay with replicants. How about silence? Do we accept silence?
I don't know, man, but there was some very nice islands. I'm just saying.
See that? Well, that. So you're saying is all silence are the same? That's racist.
That's
That's
you're right.
racist.
I take that back.
Also
Never
true
mind.
because they come from the same mold, but still,
It's a hive mind.
it's a high. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
How about Terminators? Do we allow Terminators? I think we'd have to draw the line somewhere.
So see, it depends again. Because when we go like to the Sarah Connor Chronicles, I will allow that Terminator. I'm just saying.
Oh, okay, all right.
All right.
But not liquid.
But no liquid.
No.
They're too shady.
No,
You know
we don't
what I
want no
mean?
liquids here.
They're always making, changing
Yeah.
shapes, pretending to be couches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then boom, they stab you.
No, I don't want no. I don't. I'm creating the wall against the liquid Terminators. Let's make GG great again.
That's right. Yes. And for the record, we need you
That's
guys.
what our caps were about all the time.
Yes, we need you guys to help us fund said wall.
Yes, exactly.
Oh man. So what we normally do is first we go into what we've been up to, and then move into some hot news items, and then finally the hot topic of the week. We do say hot a lot, don't we?
Oh, I think in this case, the news are a little bit hotter. I feel like they are a little bit hotter.
Oh.
At least a couple of things, One of them is like all the
specifically?
news, but I have a breaking that is it'll be kind of a doozy.
Okay.
To say.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Our hot topic for the record, guys, is 2019's Games as a Service winners and losers. We're going to be basically looking at a selection of games that we know are going to be, long-term service games, and see. Well, there's the pie's only but so big, so not everyone's going to make it. Not everyone's going to sell well.
Yeah. And I'm glad that we're going into this because I feel like I started hearing about the games and services term. It almost got coined. I know it started like in 2017ish, but I think it kind of hit strong on 2018 when it hit its stride. And we're starting this new year, and we're already hearing about a lot of games that are planning on going the same. And is this good? Is this dangerous for the industry? Who knows? We're going to discuss that.
We'll definitely take a look at that.
The GaaS.
The
how
GaaS.
you call them.
Well, I mean, I've actually saw that acronym online. I'm like, really? Is that what
That's
we're
what we're calling it? GaaS.
Okay.
Yeah, games as service.
Games as a service.
Games as a service.
Yeah.
Oh, they should have called it games as service. Just
I know,
call it
right?
GaaS.
GaaS. Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
They give you gas.
GaaS is already. It could be. There are a lot of onions in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, let's start the show, sir. We're gonna start with what we've been up to.
All right. I'll take it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a feeling you're like itching to just.
No, actually, I don't have a lot to share
Okay.
because honestly, this has been like ever since this a year started. I've been kind of like, it almost feels like I'm in a gaming hiatus. Like I'm playing games, but I'm not really sticking with any of them. Not that that's anything not new with me, but what I'm saying is that I found myself at a loss. Like, I don't know. I'm not really feeling. I have this time. Say for example, if my wife is studying and I have this free time, and I don't want to sit down and just watch something. I want to play something, but then I don't find myself playing anything. So I'm staring at the computer for the most part, going website to website, see if I find some piece of news about games that will make me like jumpstart me on something. For some reason, I landed into because I was playing also Smash Brothers, but even that, I feel like I needed to take a little bit of a break to break the monotony, So I found myself, surprisingly enough, going back to Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Oh.
And really enjoying it, again, like sparking again. And I think it's because first I was the way I was playing it before was like the way I always, the mentality that I have with every game that I play. That doesn't necessarily mean that I stick to it either. that mentality is like, I want to beat this game, know. But as opposed to you, I will say you're more resilient in the stuff that you're willing to do or to take or to grind. Maybe grind is not the right word, but you will finish a game, Me, at some point, if it's not really catching my attention, I don't have any problem dropping it, and you see it all the time.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. I just more open to like, it's not catching my, well, I mean, if it's not catching my attention, then I will probably let it go at some point. You know what I mean? But I probably give it more time. You know what I mean? So
you
more
do
time
have,
that it deserves.
You
probably.
do have to get to the end so that you stop playing it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what you do.
I mean, otherwise, I'm not doing it right.
Yeah, well, you still haven't finished Wolfenstein. Says hello,
sir. No one cares.
No one cares. That's true. No, but so I was playing with that mentality. I want to finish. I want to finish this game in an allotted time. Time frame, and that's it. But this time I'm more playing it, not caring if I just stop playing it at some point and later I'll pick it up. It's almost like the way you will play, like games of service kind of situation.
Yeah. You come back every so often.
You're coming back. You're doing this stuff. You might play for like 5, 6, 7 hours, and then like that's it for the week. Like you don't touch it again. Like it doesn't matter. I am enjoying the story, and I'm glad that it grabbed me again. And I'm enjoying the characters and the setting, and I'm still not willing to do the experience booster. But what I did do was I turned on guided. I think it's guided experience because the game has
Guided experience?
well, when you start the game, you select your difficulty level, and then one of the options that it gives you is, hey, do you want to have a guided experience where there's always going to be a waypoint telling you exactly where to go?
Oh, yes.
Or
Okay.
you want to do exploration, I think is what they call it. Yeah, where exploration is you kind of have to, based on the information you gather, figure out. Yeah, and it's not. It sounds harder than what it really is, but you have to be dedicated and you have to be invested in that world to really enjoy it and to really enjoy that. I was doing it at the beginning. I was having fun. At this time now, I just kind of want to play it and see how far I get. So I turned it on and I found that with the with guided exploration, basically, it feels the grind it doesn't feel as much. It is still there, trust me, because again I haven't bought the coin doubler, so it is still it still takes forever to level up just one level, but I'm not caring as much because now I'm just like paying attention to the story or making my own experiences. Like I had a really cool mission last night when I was playing, where it sends me to do something, to do some mission and then meet with this person that turned out to be a pirate. She turned out to be a pirate on her freighter, and I go to her and then she betrays me, and because she betrays me, I ended up like killing her and killing the entire crew.
Oh wow!
And I was so pissed, I was so pissed off at the fact that after she made me go through all this and that, the way that she double crossed me, because the mission was she wanted me to go to the depth to underwater, to some cave underwater and retrieve this item, but the problem was she wouldn't do it herself, even though she's a pirate, is because she's afraid of sharks.
Oh,
and the place was infested with sharks. So of course I go in there and I'm like battling sharks, which is it's awesome. It's awesome. It's not great. It's awesome.
Okay.
And then I get out and I deliver the item and she doesn't want to pay me and she wants to kill me, and then I basically wrecked the whole crew, her included. And then I was like, you know what? You were afraid of sharks? I want to throw you in the water. Nice. And I'm thinking like, this is just me, just a show, just a show, just grabbing each body and throwing in the water. And then I would think, man, wouldn't it be hilarious if sharks will be in this area and suddenly they'll start eating them, and I see that the bodies are, they're bloody, so you can see the blood in the water. And sure enough, sharks started to appear, nice. and it started like grabbing them, like that. I'm like, that is awesome!
Yeah,
like someone took time to program that.
Yeah,
in this world that is so so vast. It's something that you will probably expect to see on Red Dead Redemption, that level of fidelity,
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was neat. It was funny. I had to tell my wife, "Honey, look at this. This happened."
Look at these guys just getting eaten.
You were afraid of sharks. I fed you to the sharks. Nobody messes with Cassandra. So it was good. I'm back on board and having fun with it. I've been putting some hours on it and not trying to do everything. That's another thing. Let's just do the main missions, do side missions here and there when you think that there's some cool loot to have. They've also done some nice what do you call it, quality of life things. Mm-hmm. Say for example, you get the loot you get. Maybe you don't like the way it looks on you. You could actually keep the stats of the particular item, but switch the way it looks with a different piece of loot that you have already acquired.
Nice.
So it's
got the Spider-Man thing.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, remember Spider-Man? The suits. You had the suit powers.
Well, yeah,
You
but
weren't. They weren't attached to the suit. You. Can
Yeah,
switch
yeah.
it to
I guess.
another one.
Yeah, I guess you're right. The only difference is instead of powers, it was just the stats
The stats.
themselves. Yeah. So it has that, and I also didn't like that my character, which I told you, to me, is one of the most beautiful female characters in video game, my Cassandra. I didn't like that she would constantly had helmets, like they almost, I want to call them like Roman helmets and stuff like that. It was like, no, I want to see the way she looks, and sure enough, you could actually make it so that
You had the stat
keep the
and
stat
everything,
of the helmet, but not show you with the helmet at all. It also helps in cutscenes, and because it will be very jarring where you'll be wearing this complete helmet and all, and then it'll break into a cutscene immediately. It doesn't show the helmet.
The helmet.
So now you don't have the helmet anymore to worry about. So yeah, it's still I still don't change what I said about it. I said this game was my most disappointing game of 2018, and I meant it in the sense of its potential. It was a game that as great as it is, it got severely tainted with the grindiness, the artificial grindiness of, well, we want to sell a coin doubler, an experience doubler. Therefore, we're gonna finagle and mess up with the
systems.
Yeah.
There is an update that I heard or read somewhere. I probably heard it somewhere. One of these things where I think you're going to be able to turn off the enemy experience scaling. Yeah. So it doesn't scale with you, I guess. Is that what it is? And
it allows you to the way I understood it, it's a cool patch, and evidently it includes more things. But the thing that interests me was that you can actually play with the range, with the level range. Yeah. So that your enemies might scale along, like all the enemies could be the same level as you are, or all the enemies you can make them a little bit stronger or a little bit weaker.
Oh, so you can adjust.
If you want to, you can adjust it now.
Oh, that's good.
And the trade-off there, of course, is that if you make them weaker, well, that's fine, but the loot's not going to be as great as if you make them stronger. Okay. So it's turning it little by little by like almost like a Diablo-esque game when it comes to loot, where you want to fight the torment level strong monsters. You want to the harder modes. Then you get to do that, but you get you gotta get better gear, but it's gonna feel more grindy. So it's like the problem that I have with the game is that the fights feel too long. Because of because of the sponginess of the character. I mean, I'm thinking I'm slashing this person with a sword like 20 times and he's still standing. It's kind of dumb that other part. Even though the fighting actually is fun, except when it's
but
not.
It should be over.
Well, it should be over a lot quicker. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't want to just like slash them once and they're gone. I want them to be a challenge.
Although, to be fair, I mean, if you get slashed with a sword, well enough.
Well, again, it's same thing with Call of Duty. Yeah. You only need one bullet. One bullet that reaches you should mess you up.
Yep, pretty much. Yeah.
So but that's the only thing that I've mainly been playing. I'm sure that I dabble with some other things, but it was what I was trying to look for, that game that will stick again, and I figured, well, this one grabbed me.
And you found it.
Yes, so far. We'll see. I do want to finish that game because I heard the story is good, and I mean, I heard the ending is good, and the story so far has been interesting. I'm not gonna say it's like stellar or anything like that. It's not The Witcher, but it is.
That it is not, my friend. No,
I don't think very few things are. I've heard.
But you will find out.
But I will find out. Yes, because I will play The Witcher. Yes, I've made a commitment that I will play The Witcher. I did watch a movie. Recently as yesterday, and this is a movie that I actually it was one of those videos that I was watching from. What's that YouTube video? That YouTube
College
channel? No, College Humor. The other YouTube.
Oh, Looper.
from Looper, yeah,
Looper, yeah.
from Looper, where they were talking about. I wanted to say it was like either movies that were good and didn't do a lot, or something with the endings. I don't know. It was the Book of Eli.
Oh wow, the Book of Eli.
Yes.
Okay.
I hadn't seen the Book of Eli.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you. I will assume that you've seen it,
Yes, I have
obviously,
seen
and
it, yeah. Denzel Washington. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
Denzel Washington being Denzel Washington.
Yes. Badass as always.
Badass
yeah.
as always, yes. That's the only role that he could play.
Yeah.
He's badass Denzel Washington.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about it. I was like, yeah, he's always kind of just badass, isn't he? Yeah.
Equalizer, yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I like it quite a bit. It was not perfect. There was some
definitely not.
things. There was some characters that they were like, or at least one particular character was like jarringly like out of place. I felt, and unfortunately, that was the character played by Mila Kunis.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say it. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like, yeah,
Yeah,
she did. Yeah.
So actors too immediately recognizable in this.
Respect for
For the-
recognizing that.
for recognizing-
recognizing the poor
Yeah.
forecasting choice
Yeah,
here.
yeah. Mila Kunis, I like Mila Kunis.
She was. I mean, and this is not to in any way offend Mila Kunis. Not that she listens to the show or anything like that,
That we know of.
or to speak down about her. But
I'm a fan.
Realistically, she.
It was just a type of movie.
It was. Yeah. It just wasn't.
It didn't-
and I know that she was cast most likely because not that Denzel won't already bring people, but yeah, we're gonna have a woman lead. We should get someone who's hot right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, Mila
She's
Kunis. She
very
was just
hot.
the. Well, that's not what I meant. But you know.
I know.
So yeah, that's why I feel that she just got put into that. I was like, oh, okay. So she's here
Yeah,
because
it
of
was.
that, you know?
It was very. It felt like she felt like very out of the whole entire world because the whole thing takes place into a post-apocalypse. I mean, think literally of Fallout.
Yeah.
Think of Fallout, and you could almost make a thing for, hey, a Fallout movie. I would imagine it being just like this, honestly.
Or more funnier.
Well, more funnier,
yeah.
Oh, definitely more
Yeah.
funny. But
the look,
the setting,
yeah,
the look,
yeah,
the
definitely.
setting itself, it was like, okay, this is exactly how I picture a Fallout movie to be. It was really good. It was very. Well, it was post-apocalyptic. You have already seen what that looks
There's
like.
plenty of them.
But not only in the decay of like everything of the infrastructure and all that when the bombs exploded, but also the human factor, the decay of the on humanity as a civilized. As a civilization, basically,
Yeah.
like you're going back to where people are so poor that they are resorting to, and I might go into. It's an older movie,
Yeah.
but I don't believe in spoiling movies or anything like that. But it's gonna go into it. So if you want to skip, feel free. It was good, and you should watch it if you haven't seen it. So what I was gonna say was that there were humans that were like so poor and so like the conditions that were living were so like horrid and ratchet and tepid that
and
they were
it was the production design and the makeup and all that really looked and felt like they were
Yes.
living in grime. Yeah,
grime and dirt, and I mean they were cannibals basically. In this in this world, and it was interesting to see like their giveaway was always the fact that they had shaky hands.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's scientifically proven, and I hope it has never been proven scientifically.
We'll never know.
But it was cool to see that. Okay, that's the way they identify. And every time a stranger will go into a town, the first thing they'll ask them is like, "Show me your hands."
Show me your hands.
Just to see if you had the shakes, then that's probably meant you were a cannibal, and boom, they'll
take you out.
Yeah. So, dude, so it has Mila Kunis, so it has Denzel Washington, and the name of the villain is blanking on me, but I love this dude.
Looking it up, sir.
Okay, look it up. It's a recognizable name, and he's in Wing. I was gonna say Wing Commander. Actually, he probably is Wing Commander. He was in. He's on. Star Citizen. He's up
Gary
here.
Oldman?
Gary Oldman.
Yeah,
Thank you. Yes. I love that dude. On almost everything.
Gordon,
Almost everything. Yeah, Commissioner Gordon. Almost everything that he does. I really like that actor. And to see him here, it's almost like he's a villain. He has an intent. But I never felt the feel of like hating them. He was bad. He don't get me wrong. And he was gonna have his comeuppance. We knew, and it was even that was great. The way it was done, it was very well done. All right, this is the part where I'm gonna go because I have to because I have to go into major
spoilers,
super spoilery. This is if you know this and you hear it, don't watch it, don't bother. I completely missed the part. Like my wife had to tell me. My wife has seen it before.
Yeah.
My wife had to tell me. So, did you enjoy the reveal? And I'm like, yeah, I like the reveal. It's they were taking the Bible and it was not written in in normal.
Yeah.
And it's like it was written in Braille.
Yeah.
and she's like, no, but did you catch the reveal? And I'm like, what are you talking about? That's the reveal, right? And I was totally not. And when she told me, I suddenly had like a flashback. So the reveal is the fact that the character itself that Denzel Washington plays is a blind guy. I did not get that from the movie at all. And kudos to the movie for not making it so obvious. I mean, maybe they did, but it was not glaring, like maybe some people could have catch up in some of the things, but it was not to me, bro. When I saw it, I completely went like not, to the very end, even with the obvious thing where they would make the close-ups to his face, and to his eyes and stuff like that. I completely did not get the fact that this character was blind from the beginning. Like I had to rewind the movie, go back actually because nobody rewinds it, and see portions of the sections that were like dead giveaways that I was completely oblivious. So that was. That was amazing. Knowing that made me like it even more. Even though as ridiculous as it sounds, but of course this is gonna be a ridiculous movie. Yeah.
I mean, it's not ridiculous. I mean,
not
ridiculous. They did it. Yeah, they did it in a sense where
it was actually a very nice movie.
Yeah.
It was a very nice. I really love the message because the message is basically the power of books, of knowledge, of literature, and in this case. The Bible itself, which in this world, I didn't know this was gonna turn into a spoiler cast, but I'm sorry. It's just,
I mean, I have no problem. It's already an old film. No offense. I mean, we already gave a warning.
I don't know, but the fact that that they're blaming the fact that all the war that basically destroyed the world was because of the religious beliefs and stuff like that, and they keep blaming the teachings on the Bible, and they basically burned all the Bibles allegedly in this world, and that's the thing that Denzel Washington wanted to. Basically, he has the last copy of it, and it was in Braille.
It's in Braille, yeah.
And we don't know that. We know that at the very end. That's the reveal, although not the major reveal, evidently, or part of the major reveal. I just didn't catch up the major part of it. But he's taking it to a place where they're actually salvaging a lot of the of humanity's like arts and literature and stuff like that, and they have a printing press. And the idea is that he is basically translating the Braille of the Bible into like
so they can reproduce them. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I love that. When I started seeing like the Bibles getting printed and stuff like that, it was a touching moment.
Yeah,
because. Along with the name of the actual movie itself and all like that.
This is why they call it the Book of Eli.
This is why they call it the Book of Eli, exactly. And don't get me wrong, movies, I wouldn't say it was violent as hell, I wouldn't say not gory in the sense that there's no like like off it. They cut heads. That's the most easy to see. They cut many heads actually, and a hand. Dude, it was great. I really, I liked it. I will give it a solid 8. I know that feels like my safe score, but the reason I gave it that is because a 9 will be a movie that will blow my mind. This was actually like stellar, and then a 10 is perfection, and that's gonna be reserved for very few movies or something that I'm a huge dork fan of. You know. So that is to say, I really, really enjoyed this movie. The Book of Eli. Yeah, definitely. Denzel Washington playing Denzel Washington. Like
of course, his usual Denzel Washington self.
Badass self. Yes, that would be like who else plays very typical badass roles, almost to the point of being typecast.
Cruise.
Who?
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. Yeah.
Will Smith sometimes.
The Rock plays
The Rock always.
Yeah. Those types.
All right. Well, I've done a few things. I will start with games, so I can get the games going. I started playing, and I actually streamed this also. If anybody didn't tune in, it is of course available at Good Game Gamer Group on Twitch. By all means, follow us there as well. It's called Air: Memories of Old. And air is spelled A-E-R.
You mean ire?
No.
Your?
There's no I in there, so I don't understand.
Yeah, but it's in the language. It's silent.
A silent I. Okay.
Just like I'm going to be now while you speak.
Well, no worries. So anyway, the game I had it in my backlog for a while. And I was like, okay, let me. I know it's not a very long game, so let me try this because after playing Red Dead Redemption, dude, I'm just like, I can't play anything big. I can't do it. I have zero desire. The same way you felt this week is how I've been feeling. I haven't started anything new. I think all of
the Red Dead, I can't blame you.
Yeah, I think all of last week I didn't play anything. Really, the week before. So anyway, my point is, so I was like, let me get this, let me play this, and. So what it looks like, or is trying to do, is you are a female character, and you are trying to get to certain temples to... I'm not really sure, but you're trying to get to certain temples to unlock stuff, whatever. I only played it for an hour. I did not like it.
Wow.
Graphically... It was...
We were just talking about how, willing and forgiving you are usually.
Correct, yeah. And I usually, I like, for instance...
you can appreciate something of value.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the character is very floaty. The best part of the thing is when you take flight. For whatever reason, she turns into a bird.
All right.
It doesn't really explain why. And maybe it does eventually. I don't know.
Maybe
but she turns into a bird. The world that we're in... There are islands that are in the sky.
Okay.
Right. So obviously you need to fly in order to get to all the
very very high fantasy now.
This very high fantasy, yes. And so it's like I said, it's not horrible. I just spent a good 20 minutes maybe not knowing where I was supposed to go, what I was supposed to do, and it's obviously it's one of the things where you just kind of have to explore and all this.
Yeah.
But the way it was moving, the jerkiness of the way the character moved. When she was walking, or running, whatever the case may be, and I didn't want to play anymore. I was just like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
And I've seen, the reviews are, within the 7.5s and all that. I don't agree.
That's the problem.
However, I didn't.
That's the problem. You were too forgiving.
I
would have looked at 7.5 and not that they're bad or anything like that, but with so many good games out there,
no, definitely.
I will feel myself trying to get. Play something a little bit on the uppity part of the scale.
So I gave it the old college try. You know what I mean? But it's already uninstalled. I have no desire to go back. Then I started and I jumped immediately on to play Hollow Knight on PS4. And I had Hollow Knight before I still technically have it on Steam.
Uh-huh.
And I was playing it for a bit, and it was, it's good, but I just, how it is. I can't, I just, yes, I know I can plug the shit to the TV. I get it. I don't, and I'm not going to.
It's called a PC.
See, yeah, it's a laptop. Yeah.
So, it's a laptop.
So I so I ended up getting I don't double dip. Like, I know, and I actually bought it again on PlayStation 4. And man, I'm just in now. I'm just like, now this has grasped me. I'm playing it on my TV. I'm sitting on my chair that I sit on to the game, and it just feels like
probably running better on your laptop. But...
And the
I was saying, it was probably running a lot smoother on your laptop, but that's okay.
Sure, if you say so. But it looks good. It's a beautiful game. If you have not played Hollow Knight, it is a very Metroidvania style game mixed in with a little hints of Souls games and in the sense that there are a lot of like bosses and the character, when you die, your coins and stuff you collected are left there almost in a spirit form, so you got to go back to kind of the area you die so you can kind of collect them.
You might say almost in a Souls form.
Almost in a Souls form, sure. I was trying to avoid that, but sure, we'll call it a Souls form.
Oh, you didn't do a very good job. Almost in a spirit form. We know what you're trying to imply.
I'm trying not to make too much of a comparison because it is not. Now that said, I've only played about now more on the PlayStation 4 than I had on the computer. But at some point I had to stop. I had stopped the stream and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to play this for the stream. But man, it hooked me, dude. So I've played a little bit past that. But I will stream it again because it is very, very enjoyable. So you play obviously a knight and it's going into this temple and what the character's trying to do, I'm not entirely sure yet. Again, it's still very early. I have seen images of the full map. Thanks to Giovanni, he actually showed it to me, and he was like, "Hey, I don't know if you want to see it as a spoiler." I'm like, "I don't care. That's what I'm asking." So I'm like, "Yeah, I'll see." And dude, that's a map.
It's
like, holy shit, there's a lot to do in here.
Yeah.
But it's still like it's a very Metroidvania in the sense that you collect abilities, and these abilities allow you to progress further or beat certain bosses that you couldn't beat because you didn't have said ability. And so it is so good. It is a beautiful freaking game. Beautiful game.
Yeah.
And
I came in 16?
I think it was 2017 on PC, and it came out ported over to the consoles on 2018. So it's new to consoles.
Yeah, you're right. You'll be right. Yeah.
So I can't wait to play more. It's just so good. Cool. There's little weird things that it does where, so you know how in most Metroidvania games you have the map, right? And the map fills in as you go to those areas. Yeah. Well, it doesn't do it here. So the way it does it here is it kind of does. So you would purchase a map from a character who has been cataloging certain areas of the area that you're going to, right? And once you buy that map, now you can see where you're at. And you still have to buy like a compass so you can know. That way, when you look at the map, you know where you're at.
Oh, you know where you're at?
Yeah, yeah. Because otherwise, if you see the map and you don't have a compass, you can still figure it out, but you don't know where you're at.
More or less by the way the room looks or something. Oh, that's cool.
So, but the problem is that the guy who catalogs it is not 100%. You're buying like an early access map. You know what I mean?
The access map.
You know what I'm saying?
That's because you haven't spent on the DLC, which is the full map.
Exactly. Which, frankly, if they made that available, I'd pay for it. But so no,
that's how they get you.
Yeah. So that's essentially it. Now, once you get a pen. When you save, and you usually save like at a bench, you just sit on the bench and you'll see the thing save. At that point, if you have the map, you can now pre-fill where you've been. When you say, so if you go to an area and it's not pre-filled in the map, it's not going to pre-fill as you walk through it. But once you go to the save spot, you sit down and he starts to catalog where he's been. It's cool. These little touches in the game which are really cool. Giovanni just let me know about something I didn't even know, which is I feel really stupid because I did like the entire playthrough streaming, But when he swipes his sword, you can actually swipe up and in other directions, and I'm only swiping forward because
really?
I'm used to old school like Ninja Gaiden where it's always swiping forward. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I never even thought of directional.
How do you do directional with
you go into the direction of that's where it's going because you like up for instance, and you should swipe up.
Oh wow! So you didn't even notice that it was
no, I
doing
didn't
that.
did it. And it's so funny when he said, it, I was like, really? Shit, I didn't even know. Damn, I feel like an
awesome.
idiot. But now I know. So and knowing's half the battle. So I hear.
So I have to say, wow.
But no, man, this game is, and I knew it would be when I saw. That's why I bought it on PC, even though I knew I was not going to play the whole thing.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I need a good little piece of Hollow Knight, and I did, and I was like, man, it's so good. And then I think I stopped, and I was gonna go back, and then I heard, oh, it's gonna come to console. I was like, all right, I'll just wait for console. I'll just do it on console. And it's here, and I finally started it. And yes, this is awesome game, and I can't wait to get back. So now I know I have a direction when it comes to gaming in my life right now. Because I was like, yep, I'm gonna go jump right back into that.
Great way to start the year. You have a game that grabbed you.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been playing. As far as what I've been watching, I've watched 2 films, and I'll start with the first one. The first one is called Searching. Searching stars John Cho from Harold and Kumar. I don't know if you've seen Harold and Kumar.
Go to White Castle.
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
It is a great movie. It's classic right there.
It is a classic.
It is a classic movie. This is obviously not Kumar. It's John Cho, which is Harold, the Korean guy. And so the way the movie. So at first I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about this movie. I didn't know that this how it is. The entire movie takes place from the view of a computer. So a computer, actually from the view of a computer. So if you were like for instance, right now you got your computer up here, you would, you could be able to FaceTime people. You would FaceTime. So the characters FaceTime with each other, and they see each other on the screen. Yeah. And John Cho is usually the character. I can't remember his name, but his character is usually on his computer all the time because he works that way. So he's got his job there. He, everything he does on his computer. The crux of the story, and this is not a spoiler because it's in the trailer. But what ends up happening is that his daughter goes missing, and now he's doing everything he can to find her. And he realizes at some point, I need to go onto her computer to find out where she's been and what she's been doing. Dude, I am. First of all, I was a little worried it's going to feel a little like gimmicky about doing the whole thing on the computer because they happened at first, like the intro of the movie was great. I was like, holy shit, this really set up everything nice, even though it was being shown on a computer. You know what I mean? Because what it is like almost accessing home videos and pictures and stuff like that, so you kind of see their lives and all this, but it's done in a really cool way. Then I realized that the whole 20 minutes in, I'm going, man, so this is going to be the whole movie. I was like, okay, all right, well, but the
a little bit very phone book, phone booth.
But actually more like there's this movie. It's a horror movie. Friend Me or Don't Friend Me or something like that. Or Unfriend Me. I think that's what it's called.
I don't know if it's called that.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Yeah. And so it's a horror movie, and it kind of does the same thing. But this is not horror. Obviously, this is more like I say, it's a missing daughter and all this stuff. It is really, really well done. I'm really, really shocked at how engaging it was, and it was just like I was like into it. I was like, oh man, this is and the story made sense. One of the things I always like about good movies is when characters do stuff that makes sense. Like if something happens in your life, the first thing you would do is and when you see it in a movie, you go, why would they do that? What sensible person does this? You know what I mean? So this
it's like the thing with the person hearing a mysterious sound at night. Who's there? And they go walk straight to where the sound was. Yeah, that kind of. So
his character and what he does and how he reacts and everything is so believable. And it's funny to see John Cho, who I know mostly from funny stuff. He was the MILF guy. I don't know if you remember that when the word MILF came out. And he was what's the name of that movie?
Do Where's My Car?
No, not Do. Not Do Where's My Car? Oh my God. American Pie.
Oh Jesus.
American Pie. Yeah. So he was in American Pie. He was the one who was always on. Stifler's mom is a MILF and all this, whatever. So anyway, my point is to see him do this serious role. and do it really, really well. Really, really believable, sir. You will definitely dig this film.
Really? Okay.
Yes, because one, just the fact that the technology and everything, and it just really works. It's like it's just really cool. It's like, and everything makes sense as to why he would do something.
I don't know. It would probably be the opposite. I could be tearing it apart because I'll be like, yeah, he's gonna be using Internet Explorer now. Yeah. Oh, gee, he's using Windows 98. Yeah. And they didn't have that technology back in the day.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you could probably pull that apart, I'm sure, at some point. But I would still recommend it, and I really think you would enjoy it. And I would recommend everybody check it out as well, because I think it's really good.
All right.
And surprising.
I'll put it on my list.
Yeah, surprising.
I like it.
I didn't think I was going to enjoy that particular gimmick, but it works.
Yeah.
The last film I saw is actually available on Netflix. It's called Roma. And Roma is just won a Golden Globe for Best Foreign Film. The film is in Spanish, but it's in Spanish predominantly. It's also in an indigenous language of the Mexican area. Mm-hmm. So the subtitles on Netflix will show, when it says subtitles, it's because they're speaking Spanish. If the subtitles are in brackets, they're speaking whatever the dialect
that
is.
indigenous language.
And so it's interesting. So what it is, Alfonso Cuarón is a director and the writer, and he did this movie. He's done a lot of movies. He did Gravity. He did Children of Men. He did, I think, one of the.
He did Gravity.
He did one of the Harry Potter films too. So he's done a lot of stuff, and this was sort of a love letter to his housekeeper that he grew up with, who became such an important part of their family. And dude, this movie right here, man. This movie right here.
I heard it's my jam.
It is not your jam. It is not your jam. And I won't say why it's not your jam because I don't want to ruin it for anybody.
Okay.
But I already told you why it's not your jam.
Yes.
So you know why.
I have been brief because I did see that you were watching it. And I did hear the good vibes for the Golden Globes. And I was like, so did he watch it because it picked up the Golden Globe, or did he knew about it, before?
Well, it was. Yeah, I had tagged it early on because I saw, Netflix has the thing and it'll.
You
show.
might like this.
Yeah. So and it said Alfonso Cuarón. I was like, oh snap, okay. I tagged it and it's been on my list for a little while.
Yeah.
It wasn't the Golden Globes. It wasn't until a podcast I was listening to that I listened to a lot for movie insight and stuff like that, movie news, and it wasn't until they were doing their top 10 and all three of the hosts had that on their top 10, and they watch like hundreds of movies a year, in 1 year. So that's all they do. And so to have that sit in their top 10, and then I'm listening to the other ones that they haven't going, oh, that's a good movie. Yeah, okay. To know, I was like, okay, I gotta fucking see this movie. You know what I mean? It's the one. There were only two movies. And that was one that all three of them shared. You know what I mean? The rest of the movies were all mixed. You know what I mean? So I was like, all three of them agreed, yes, this is a great film. So it's a hard watch. Okay. And I say this in the sense that you're going to feel like it's just doing stuff to make you upset. You know what I mean?
You can just say it's gonna make you feel.
No. Well, yes, it will do that. But
it'll give you the feels.
But it's gonna do it in certain ways where you're just not ready for it. Okay? You're just not ready for it. One of the great things about Alfonso Cuarón is the long shot. I've always said that he does this long extended shot. And
what is a long shot?
Long shot is when they don't cut. Like for a long period of time, it's just one long shot.
Okay.
So the camera will move over here and whatever. It never cuts because the scene has been rehearsed, so you never cut away. Okay. The beauty of that is that it really feels like you're there. Like the whole thing feels real because it never does that cut away to anything. It
doesn't transition to something.
There's no transition. It doesn't. Two people are talking, and it doesn't flip between cameras that one's facing him and one's facing the other person. You know what I mean? It doesn't do all that. And so it really, really feels it feels like you're there. But because of that, when you start seeing certain scenes and certain moments and you're like, oh my God, dude, it is hard watch, man. It's a hard watch. It's on Netflix. I highly recommend it. However, I can already imagine that some people will be like, I can't believe. Now, here's the deal.
Watch for triggers.
If you watch to a certain point and you're like, fuck this movie, I can't believe it's doing this to me, whatever, and you just really piss off, you've crossed the line of no return. You have to watch the rest.
Yeah,
you know
you
what I
have
mean?
to,
You
yeah.
have to watch the rest because there's a purpose. And I know it may not be evident at that point, you know, but you gotta just watch, keep going.
Otherwise, it'll be like watching the Red Wedding and leaving Game of Thrones at that.
Correct.
Like,
Like the only reason
like,
why
screw this. I
you-
have lost hope in humanity.
Yeah.
This is the reason why humanity.
Exactly. It is exactly the point. Exactly the same thing. It's like watching the Red Wedding and never watching past that. It's like,
Yeah.
well, you might as well see what happens because you
Yeah.
got to get to the end, right? So very similar. Dude, Niagara Falls, man. My wife and I, Niagara Falls. I was just like,
man.
this is bullshit. Fuck this movie.
Yeah, fuck this movie. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
This is bullshit.
So it was very good. I always like Alfonso Cuarón's movies, which I definitely recommend a few for you as well. I don't know if I can recommend this for you. I still feel like you should watch it. I just don't know if you're going to like it and hate me or not like it, or maybe hate me afterwards. You know.
Well, as long as I can tell when it ends.
Well,
I'll be-
there are credits, so
Well, that's not ending.
That's a dead giveaway.
Because they can roll the credits in the middle. Like they
That's
do
a dead giveaway, my friend. Stay through the credits because it'll just fade to black at the end. So, so
I thought you were gonna say he had like a stinger at the end of this one. I was like, what?
just so
They do
you
Marvel
no,
also?
it'll fade to black, and that's how you know. Oh, this is the end.
It's not the end until they tell me how much are they gonna fine me if I pirate this movie.
When it goes back to the menu, you're like, oh, I guess that was
I
it.
guess that was it.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Oh, I guess it ended. Where's this two? I'm sure that I need to install this two to see the part where it ends actually.
Oh, that's good.
Because
This too. That's great. That's all I've been doing. Welcome back, guys, and we're gonna go right into our trailer of the week. Yes, our trailer this week, Mr. Santos, is
Oh boy! Our trailer of the week is a Netflix film.
oh nice.
That is Mr. Martin.
Okay,
I need some help here.
Yeah, I got you. It is a Netflix film. The reason why we don't, so we're essentially like torn between two.
There
that
are two
yeah,
very
yeah.
good, interesting movies that we want to watch.
Yes,
And
so,
I'm watching both of them. Well, actually, we had three. We saw three.
we did see.
All three looked interesting.
Yes.
You know, the middle one was, we might as well mention it, you know, the name of
Names of them, yeah. So one is called Io,
Uh-huh.
which stars Anthony Mackie. You would know him as Falcon. From Marvel films, yeah. So it's a post-apocalyptic story. Humans.
There was a lady
on
also,
Earth.
but I don't
forgot her
recognize-
name too, yeah.
I don't recognize her.
I don't recognize her either.
Might be an
She could be.
upcoming.
She becomes somebody new.
Yeah.
And so humans have left the Earth and to live now this planet or moon of
Yeah, the moon of Io in Jupiter.
in Jupiter.
Yeah.
Thank you. So that's why it's called Io. And essentially they're trying to get out of the Earth.
Yeah, I
Is
wonder.
what- yeah.
I wonder if they had. I mean, I would imagine that that's based on something. There's constantly. I feel like a lot of sci-fi has played with the idea of, oh yeah, humans didn't colonize Mars; they colonized Io.
Yeah.
You know, and even Destiny did it. You know, one of the planet areas they use is actually the moon of Io, and so that looked interesting from a. You know, post-apocalyptic
Sci-fi, yeah.
sci-fi, you know, sci-fi driven future. But that's not the topic of
That's not the trailer of the week.
Because
The
we
next
haven't
one-
decided.
Yeah, the
what
next
trailer of
one
the week
is Hotel Mumbai.
Hotel Mumbai. Yes.
Hotel Mumbai it stars the main guy from. Oh gosh, I have to look it up here. This is why I was asking you to tell me which one you wanted. Because
Kumar and Harold Kumar.
no, that is
Go to
so
White
not
Castle.
good. It stars Armie Hammer,
Okay.
which is your wife was like, I don't know who that is, so he's probably gonna die.
Oh,
But Armie Hammer played the Lone Ranger. He also played both twins in the Social Network.
In the Social Network. That's him. Yeah.
It also stars in it is Dev Patel, which you would know him from Slumdog Millionaire, and also from Lion, which are
you saw Lion? That was good.
Yeah, that was very good. You saw it too?
No, I but my wife did, and she enjoyed it. Yeah.
I'm not surprised you didn't see it.
You shouldn't be surprised by any of it.
Yeah, this one here essentially is a true story of the Taj Hotel terrorist attack in Mumbai. The hotel staff risked their lives to keep everyone safe as people make unthinkable sacrifices to protect themselves and their family. I'm reading this off of IMDb, basically. But yet, so the trailer obviously hints at that, and also based on true events.
Yeah.
And so that's one that we're torn between. And then the other is, so for the record, IO is a Netflix film that is coming to Netflix. It will come actually next week, the 18th. So a week from today. And the Hotel Mumbai is a theatrical release.
That's a theatrical
that's a
one.
theatrical
Oh, okay. All right. I did not know that.
Oh, okay. No, that is scheduled to come out. Let me see what the date is here.
I thought I saw no, wait. I'm making it up. Because I know the other Netflix
release date is March 22nd, 2019.
There you go.
For Hotel Mumbai. And then the last one that we have is called Polar. Polar stars Mads Mikkelsen, which is one of my favorite actors. By the way, you also will recognize him from the upcoming Death Stranding because he's in that.
Yes, he's in Death Stranding. Yes.
So yes, it also stars Vanessa Hudgens. He is. So this is again from the IMDb summary page. The world's top assassin, Duncan Visla, is settling into retirement when his former employer marks him as a liability to the firm. Against his will, he finds himself back in the game, going head-to-head with an army of younger killers. Very
John Wick.
Yes.
Yeah.
But this is also a Netflix original film, so this will be exclusive to Netflix.
Now that you mentioned that, I think I'm gonna give it the edge to Hotel Mumbai. Not
Good
because,
choice, sir.
Not because, well, if you knew which one to select, why didn't you select it?
Because I wanted you to
you made me. You made me.
When it comes to
select
movies,
between two babies.
That's true. When it comes to movies, I gotta let you do something. You know?
I just picked the one that, because I was honestly from the trailer. When I saw the trailer, Polar,
you were
like, I was intrigued. I was like, oh yeah, no, this is the one, because this one gave me a very John Wick vibe.
Yeah.
Little did I know that this is. I mean, it almost feels like a script for
John Wick 3,
John Wick, if not that. So because the movie has those. Yeah, he's the ultimate assassin and this and that, but it also had that almost craziness that you could almost expect on like a Kill Bill movie. Not that level, not that high level craziness. You know, you don't have like Japanese schoolgirls fighting.
The crazy
ninjas and stuff like that. Crazy idiots not there. But that level of it almost. I don't recall if I saw this correct. Was there a villain with an eye patch? I thought I saw a villain with an eye patch.
What you were looking at was the main character with the eye patch.
Okay, well, there you go. Well, and he looked, and of course, him being this guy, he looks bad. Yeah. It's like in the trailer, he says, you're a bad person doing good things. It was almost like that. So,
pretty much, yeah.
So
a little on the nose.
Probably, a little on the nose, yeah. So and that's what I'm afraid this movie is. It's gonna be. It could be very entertaining.
Yeah.
But in the end,
we've
seen it. Yeah. Hotel Mumbai looks like, this is based on the true events, and I really like that premise already. And also it's, the struggle of all the people that suffered those that terrorist attack and that were trapped in the hotel that. So I'm gonna have to lean a little bit more towards Hotel Mumbai for this one, even though I have to wait a lot longer. And pay a lot more to watch it.
Probably, yes.
Yes.
Unless you wait for it to come out on Netflix like next year.
Yes, exactly.
Well, sir, let's get into some news items here. I'm going to start off from the top.
All right, I'm gonna let you there because I mentioned that I had
I know.
a little bit of it, but I
Okay,
don't,
you know what? No, you should go.
You want me?
Yeah, no.
You want me to
it's
bring
it's
it
the
up?
big news. It's
Well,
the hot drop of the week.
It's a hot drop in the sense because this is in no way it feels like it feels good. It's just something that looks like, oh, of course this was gonna happen, but then it turned into like, oh shit, like wait a minute, what? So former Gearbox lawyer accuses CEO Randy Pitchford of taking a secret 12 million bonus in a lawsuit Gearbox called absurd. So I'm literally kind of to understand the level of gravity that this goes down to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna read the article. This comes from Kotaku. Actually, Kotaku, I understand they broke this news. So, and it says the former general counsel of game studios Gearbox and CEO Randy Pitchford are suing one another in a messy legal battle that sees both men accused of violating their legal duties to the company. The suit against Pitchford is in full sensational allegations, including accusations that the Gearbox CEO received a secret $12 million bonus from publisher Take-Two Interactive as an advance against Borderlands profits. By the way, this is money that would have been that would have gone. This bonus would have gone to the developers.
Yeah, bonuses,
at
raises.
Gearbox. Yeah, exactly. When they're receiving Gearbox, for those who don't know, they are famous for doing the excellent Borderlands 2, which is a game that I truly really enjoyed. And then a whole other load of crap that has come out, like Aliens, Colonial Marines.
Yes.
And they acquired the rights to Duke Nukem, and what they did was they just finished the crap that was. It wasn't a good development, and they just like crapped it out at the end, and they released it, and it was like garbage. So anyway, it goes to say. The name is Wade Calendar.
Mm-hmm.
Calendar,
yeah.
Who served as Gearbox lawyer from 2010 to 2018, filed a suit.
He knows the dirt.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Filed a suit on December 21st of 2018, accusing Pitchford of violating various contracts involving both Gearbox and a separate real estate company that they both own, as well as Calendar's own employment contract. The allegations, this is a quote from a Gearbox spokesperson says, the allegations made by a disgruntled former employee are absurd, with no basis in reality or law, said Gearbox spokesperson in a statement to Kotaku. We look forward addressing this meritless lawsuit in court and have no further comments at this time. Calendar's suit was filed 1 month after Gearbox sued him in a separate case for fraud and breach of fiduciary duty. Gearbox alleged that Calendar borrowed money from Gearbox for a home loan and tuition and did not pay it back, and Calendar's abused the privilege of credit card by accessing a credit card access by charging unapproved wholly personal expenses, including family vacations, gun club memberships, and firearm accessories, and trying to get six-pack abs. That's what it says. Gearbox also accused Calendar of destroying evidence of the home loan agreement he made with the studios, and they actually linked to the filing. Yeah, both filings actually. According to Calendar lawsuit, which you can also read on that Kotaku link that we will certainly provide. Mm-hmm. Calendar and Pitchford were longtime friends whose relationship fell apart over the last 2 years. The lawsuit alleges that Pitchford struck a deal in 2016 to receive a personal secretive executive bonus of $12 million to be paid directly to Pitchford's entity called Pitchford Entertainment Media Magic LLC. That bonus Calendar and his lawyers argue were in advance upon royalties that would have otherwise go to Gearbox's staff. This is particularly tragic exploitation because these millions are being siphoned to Randy Pitchford's personal account instead of funding the development of Borderlands. Now, here's where it gets interesting.
Yes, it does.
Calendar's most lurid allegations against Pitchfork is an accusation surrounding an event that he says occurred in 2014. Calendar says that Pitchfork left a USB drive in a Dallas, Texas restaurant containing sensitive corporate documents for Gearbox and its partners, including 2K, Sega, Sony, Microsoft, and others. Says the lawsuit, upon information and belief, Randy Pitchfork's USB drive also contains Randy Pitchfork's personal collection of underage pornography. And yes, yeah, this is where things turns to
goes to the weird now.
Wait a minute, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Several hours after the publication of this story, Ars Technica tracked down a Magic podcast, a podcast about magic, because Randy Pitchfork he's a huge fan of magic,
and magicians,
magicians and all that. Right. So Ars Technica tracked down a magic podcast on which Pitchfork had appeared last year. Around the same time, a Gearbox spokesperson also emailed the podcast to Kotaku. In the episode that went live on December 22nd of 2018, the day after the lawsuit was filed, Pitchfork told his version of the USB stick story. For the first time, he said, Pitchfork described his enjoyment of cam girls pornography, in which a woman streams live erotic content, and explained that he had saved the porn video of a cam girl on said memory stick before it was lost. I'm just going to continue reading as he says on the thing and on the report. This is a quote. It says the woman was masturbating, Pitchfork said, and when she has some experience that appears as she's having an orgasm, a huge amount of fluid comes out of her vagina. This is not a sex worker. This is a fucking magician, he added, saying that he had purchased one of the videos and put it on the USB stick. Some kid, an employee of the medieval times, discovered the memory stick, took it home, accessed it because it was before password password protecting. I think this is a jab to himself. Mm-hmm. And it was before I discovered secrets of my company and future games in development. I also discovered the pornography. And it was barely legal porn. The game's handle was under 18, and that's the handle of the girl. This keeps going. Actually, I will invite you guys to definitely check the.
There's a mention of a peacock party as well, which
yes. If I may, because I just found that part. You're absolutely right. So it gets to where
that's very specific. I'm just saying.
Yeah. It says Calendar also accused Pitchfork of holding parties in which adult men. This is a quote. Adult men have reportedly exposed themselves to minors to the amusement of Randy Pitchfork. End quote. In a statement sent to Kotaku several hours after the publication of this article, Gearbox also denied this, saying that Pitchfork and his wife hold regular variety shows that were recorded, and nothing of the sort occurred there. And then the quote says, "This is terminology that the Pitchfork has never used," a spokesperson said, referring to the term peacock parties, in which the lawsuit referred, quote, was made up by Wade in a further attempt to paint a sensational picture that is demonstrably false. The spokesperson added that the show has featured some of the most respected and renowned performers in the world and has been attended by prominent members of the local community and larger media, end quote, linking various press conferences to Pitchfork's show and his venue, which is called the Peacock Theater. So yeah, so you guys might be wondering, okay, so the news is about the $12 million in lawsuit, and things suddenly took a very dark turn to the worst possible scenario you could portray. Why is it not focusing on that? And I'll tell you why. Now, the problem, the thing with this is that these are allegations made on a lawsuit. On a lawsuit, technically, you can say almost anything.
Yeah.
You know,
Especially civil ones. Yeah.
you can civil ones. You can accuse someone of
Anything.
anything, having sex with yo-yos, whatever. It's like
that's offending.
It is.
Sue 'em,
Yeah. So because there's allegations and nothing has been proved, at least certainly not the investigation. It's I guess early. It's too early for investigations. They can't. They can't. You can't see. You won't see the accused. I mean, I'm sure some more irresponsibles, if I can say that.
I mean, honestly, I would actually venture a guess and say that most likely he did have whatever that was saved, and whether it was, most likely that was the case. Obviously, he admitted it. Yeah, he's admitted it.
But he's not admitting to
yeah,
child porn,
yeah.
Those are the allegations. He's
correct. That's what I'm saying. It's most likely that, and it's being blown probably a little bit out of proportion by the lawsuit. But it's kind of taking away from the actual thing. You know what I mean? That seems to be the issue, which is the money that.
It depends, because if the actual thing, and I'm hoping, and here's the thing, I have never been a fan of Randy Pitchfork.
Yeah.
I don't think it's been a person that has demonstrated that he cares about the stuff, that he cares about the reputation of his company. I mean, where he takes on where he lies. He demonstrated blatantly with colonial Marines, and like this is not the first time that he has been in trouble.
Yeah.
That said, I don't hate it to the level that I hope that this is not like that an investigation doesn't come out of this and find out that this is true, because this will be a nasty mark not only in the industry but especially on Gearbox itself, and like if that's really the case, then like really fuck him.
Yeah.
Like,
obviously,
really,
if this is all true, whatever for whatever reason, then
but the reason
that guy needs to be tarred and feathered. And thrown out.
At that point, but the reason they don't open with that is because there's just an allegation. It was crazy to read about about it, and it is crazy to see where this is going. I kind of hope there are exaggerations, as well. Randy Pitchfork he's enough of a slime ball as he is already. He doesn't need to go to this new level.
This paints him into new levels of bad.
No, this is like the bottom. At this point, it's like, so I'm hoping it's not true. So anyway, that this is just breaking today, and we'll see how that goes.
We will catch you up on said things.
Yeah.
For the record, my next news piece here is also lawsuit related. Netflix hit with a choose your own adventure lawsuit over the Black Mirror Bandersnatch.
Oh my God, yes.
Yes. So there's lawsuits all over the place, guys. Netflix first interactive movie, Black Mirror Bandersnatch, makes no bones about its choose your own adventure inspiration. And that's reportedly caught the eye of the series' original publisher, Chuseko, a publishing company specializing in children's books, is suing Netflix for infringing on the company's choose your own adventure trademark. According to the official complaint, which can be seen at the bottom of this story, which I will post, Netflix has been in negotiations with Chuseko over the license for the series since 2016. But Chuseko says Netflix never actually gained permission to use it. After the release of Black Mirror Bandersnatch late last month, Chuseko has filed a complaint against Netflix for $25 million in damages, as the company says the Netflix new movie benefits from association with the Choose Your Own Adventure series without the company ever receiving the trademark. Of course, Netflix has declined to whatever. Yeah. Considering how much money Netflix is making, they'll probably just pay the $25 million. We were trying to get the damn license from you. You didn't want to give it to us. We made the movie. Now you have a price. Here you go.
Here you go. This is the price.
This is what we were asking from the beginning.
I mean, it's 25. I guess you're right. 25 million is nothing to Netflix to sneeze at. I mean, it's an amount.
Don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure it's going to be settled.
It's a black
for a
eye.
lot less. Yeah.
It's right. Exactly.
Yeah,
that's another thing.
They're
settled for a lot, which will actually be the price of
correct.
The license.
Do you remember in 2016 when we said, "Hey, we'll pay you this"?
Yeah.
That's what we're offering now.
That
you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's it. It still upsets me. Not with Not with the company that is, I guess, enforcing the right to protect the trademark.
I mean,
You
if
know,
they have the trademark.
if they have the trademark.
Yeah. And if it's true that they were in talks to get, whatever.
That's basically Netflix
Correct,
recognizing.
yeah.
That's true. I'm more upset at, and I'm not going to turn this into a rant, but I'm just going to mention it because I posted it as such. I think I made a joke of, you know what? I am going to trademark breathing in and out in that specific order.
Yes, I saw.
And I knew that you were going to respond with, I breathe out and in, so I'm okay. I knew that was the whole thing. That was the whole.
I don't like how you know me, sir. I don't like this.
So the thing, the problem that I have with the trademark and copyright law in general is that it has become, it's the Wild West. It feels like all these years, and you can still trademark stupid shit that you shouldn't be allowed to trademark just because it is.
It's general. It's a general use.
General use.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's all, almost considered like public domain. Like, yes, if there is a process, for doing something that you want to trademark, be my guest. If there is a brand that you don't want to be associated with anything else, do it. We did it for GG. Even though we do this for like dumb fun, we still did.
Trademarked
it.
Yeah, just to make sure.
The
GG
thing,
guys, just saying GG.
Yeah. Well, the bracketed GG specifically.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing that bothers me is when you're allowed to have the rights to choosing your own adventure, like, what does that mean then? Does that mean that I cannot make a piece of interactive? Because everything interactive is about making a choice. So, I mean, you could.
Yeah.
Well, think about Telltale games. Think about Telltale game, for example.
No. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. I think there is the only I guess argument, and I'm not trying to play devil's advocate, even though I tend to.
You always do.
Yeah. And I'm trying to defend whatever. The choose your own adventure scenarios are very specific.
Right.
The movie itself, we saw Bandersnatch, and I would actually, I mean, that would be the closest that I can compare that to a choose your own adventure thing.
Book.
Probably better than I can choose. Yeah. Then I can compare it to Telltale. My complaint with it is the same reason why I never liked those choose your adventure books is because if you don't know what choose your own adventure is, you read, it's this book, right? You're reading the story.
It's in the name.
Yeah. You get to the bottom and say, if you choose to do this, go to page 30. If you choose to do this, go to page 50, right? And then you always go to page 50 or you go to that one and you see, oh, you just died, right? At the end of the story there. And then obviously you go back and you choose the other one. And it's always like that. It's a dead ends, basically. You always find the little dead end. So that is where the method of the choose your adventures always seem very similar. And this movie was like that. Very similar to that.
Yeah.
Almost specifically similar to that. You know what I mean?
But it was not a book.
It was not a book. No, it was not a book. No.
I'm being facetious.
No, I get you.
But
there was a book in the movie that the kid referenced saying the Bandersnatch book, which he was making a video game from. You know,
but those are the action.
No, I get it.
Those are the things that are like almost too silly. It's like the main example that I always put is like the Amazon's one button buy. It's like who cares? That is not a you cannot or you should not be allowed a trademark on clicking, just like there's a lot of moronic trademarks that we have issued, and because we have already set precedent for doing those trademarks, we are accepting now trademarking anything like what there's trademark walking, there's trademark stupid shit. It sounds silly, but that's our trademark. That's our office trademark, and the way it works.
It's
that's the main thing that I have a problem with.
And the system, unfortunately, is not
more than flawed.
Yeah, more than flawed.
It's broken.
It's broken indeed.
Oh, that would be me now.
Yes.
So this we're gonna get to the big piece of news of what happened this week, but we're not gonna leave that. We're gonna leave it for last. For now, The Division 2 won't be coming to Steam, but it will be there for the Epic Game Store. This is kind of a surprise and another like slap in the face of Valve. Some might say kind of well deserved. I don't know. I understand a lot of people do not have do not have the fondness towards the Epic Game Store, and I have I've obviously have used the Epic Game Store, and it's definitely not there. No, it's not
early,
ready to be compared.
Yeah,
to
it's early.
It is very early.
Yeah.
You know. That said, you know, yes, it's another portal and another game that you have to access from like a different thing that is also
library.
one to activate whenever you turn on Windows, because they all do. But what I appreciate is the fact that their revenue split. When it comes to serving the games on their store, is a lot more fair than the archaic revenues percentages that Steam has. That comes from a day where that was considered.
That console have two for the record.
And the console has two, yeah. But with consoles, I
You're
almost
on their
see
console,
it. Yeah, I almost see it like
that's where I would say that's probably where that number kind of got solidified.
Well,
like,
no, the number came from Apple.
Oh,
all this thing came from Apple because it was, Apple was the first one with the App Store and with the revenue sharing of 70-30 or whatever it is, and then consoles with their stores, they decided to do the same, and it's kind of ridiculous to get that if you want to publish a game that you created, you are giving this company 30% just for the right to be on the platform. Now that said, obviously you have to do it, because if you want to sell copies on PS4, you're not gonna publish it on your own sideways, like
Correct.
they did.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
I think we could afford that. So yeah.
I feel like Epic, with Fortnite money, of course, have been allowed to be a little bit more giving, especially when it started with Fortnite not being released on the Google Play Store, and be like, yeah, you want to get Fortnite on Android, just you have to sideload it. You have to get it from, you can't get it from the Google Store, because we don't want to pay the Google Store that 30% of all the revenue that Fortnite will make, which is huge.
It is huge.
On Apple's side, honestly, unfortunately, because of the nature of the thing, they have no choice. But you can bet that if they could get away from that, they would. And so now in the PCs. In the PC market, I don't remember exactly what the percentage split was, but it was a lot more fair towards the developers. I want to say it was probably like 90-10, or it was something like that. It was something like surprising. Of course, again, able to afford it with Fortnite money.
Of course, yeah.
Who knows how long that will last? But I'm happy to see
that can change at any time. So.
Yeah, and I'm happy to see a lot of developers taking advantage of that fact and jumping to exclusivities with the Epic Store, because Steam needs a competitor. It needs a strong competitor. And no, it's not Uplay, it's not Origin, it's not any of those publisher specific game stores. It has to be someone that steps in, and yes, of course, it's gonna have Fortnite to offer, but it also gonna be able to offer a wider range of different games and be more fair towards the developers. So hearing the news that Ubisoft will take advantage of this of that more Noble's revenues split doesn't surprise me. So it says Epic has stepped up his battle with Valve for PC video game sales by cutting a deal with Ubisoft to pull The Division 2 from Steam and instead bring it to its own store. I feel like this is not the last time we're going to hear about this.
No. I can see next week having a new one. Yep.
Yeah. It means the high-profile AAA release will not be available to buy on Steam, unlike its predecessors and previous Ubisoft PC titles. The Division 2 due out in March 15 will also be sold through Ubisoft's own Uplay platform, as you can expect. It sounds like other future Ubisoft games will be sold on the Epic's Game Store too, although it seems this deal comes too late to affect the sales of Far Cry New Dawn, which remains available for pre-purchase on Valve's platform. Epic recently launched the Epic Store by offering a bigger cut of sales to developers than Valve currently offers through Steam. And it also made a game free to download every fortnight since. I see what they did there.
Yes.
Oh, massive. This is, I gotta call them out. This is Eurogamer, by the way. So it says prior to today, January 9, that is, all pre-orders for Division 2 were offered directly through the Ubisoft Store. After today, PC players can pre-order the Division 2 on both the Ubisoft Store and Epic's Game Store. For pre-ordering guarantees access to the upcoming beta. Then on the 15th of March, PC gamers can buy the game on both the Ubisoft Store and the Epic's Game Store only. Really ballsy move, actually, I would say. And I know a lot of people are hating on the fact of this Epic Game Store, but I commend them. I almost want to root for them.
I don't think I would. I mean, the only complaint I would ever have is, again, having to go to different. Yes, it's on your computer, but you still have to load it from a different store or whatever.
Yeah.
You kind of like have everything in one place. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's about the only complaint that there would be.
Mm-hmm.
This is obviously good. You know what I mean? Because I would like to think that Epic will be smarter, and when it comes to getting games on the system, maybe curate their library a little bit better than Steam does.
Oh, goodness,
you know what I'm saying? That would be an amazing thing. Exactly. You know what I mean? So just the fact that they're making these big moves and obviously winning people over with it when it comes to publishers, I think it's a good thing. And like I said, it will maybe not immediately. Maybe it'll take a year or two, but at some point it's going to start to hurt Valve, to a sense, to push the fact that, all right, we'll concede to the, because that's how that works, right? Cell phones, when they first came out, I mean, you remember when you got cell phones back in the day, man, you had to pay for every freaking minute, right? You had a limited amount of minutes. Then you had the thing move into free nights and weekends, and then everybody did free nights and weekends, and then before you know it, now you can talk as much as you want, but there was a time you were limited. You know what I mean? But the moment someone moves into this field, everyone has to come to that same level at some point because you have to compete. You're no one is too big to just do whatever they want. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, Verizon.
Unless your name is Sony, am I right?
No, Sony had to. You remember my post where it was the Xbox and Nintendo where it survived together, and then you have this one. Okay, fine. Sony finally says okay, fine, because they honestly there was no choice in that. You know? They just delayed the inevitable.
Adapt or die, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Mentality. And that would eventually be the same thing for them and everybody else. Because if you're gonna have the Epic Game Store, can literally blow up into this. It could be the Fortnite of video game stores. Yeah, because of this, and it can happen. I mean, dude, Fortnite felt like it was like this thing that came out of the blue.
2018 was the whole year, of Fortnite.
Yeah,
and with smart moves on the store. On the store competition thing with Valve, they could actually pull ahead. Of course, it's not gonna be this year. It's probably not gonna be next year. But keep up the good work on that, and I can see them becoming a very strong contender. And also, you have to remember, this is very good for developers as well, because that 80-30 or that 70-30 revenue split was archaic, and some might say it shouldn't have applied to video games to begin with. So of course, Valve was racking off millions and millions because
that's how Valve
it was
became Valve.
Yeah. And now I feel like if I'm hoping. Although this is the game industry, so you can never tell for sure. But I'm hoping that if suddenly developers can get more of the cut of the sales, that will lead to less attempt to fuck us over with predatory loot boxing
boxes,
and
yep.
DLC and DLC and those practices that our beloved industry have
loves
come
to
to
do.
adore.
Yep.
Yeah.
My next piece, sir. BioWare has recently talked about their Anthem game. You know that game that's coming out, that little small.
Oh, Destiny
title.
3? Yeah,
Yes,
I know what you're talking about.
They're going to be doing actually demos. They're going to be 2 demos. The first demo will be a closed demo. It would be available to those who pre-ordered the game. But shortly after that, we'll have the open demo where it will be available for everyone for a limited time for them to play before the release of the game. The reason I bring this up is because I've always said demos are a good thing because you get to feel the game out to see, if this is something that you're going to like. I think this may be a good sign that they are confident enough with the game to say, yeah, we'll put a demo out there, get people excited for it, especially right before the launch. That's a good thing.
Either that or is this a demo open to everyone, or do you have to pre-order?
There's 2. There's the first one will be available for the ones who pre-ordered, and then after that will be an open one for everyone.
Okay.
So that's what I mean. Yeah, if it was just a pre-order one, then it's just like, okay, whatever.
This is just a marketing
You're catering
ploy.
to the fans who are already buying anyway.
No,
That
this is
doesn't
a
make
marketing
sense.
ploy.
Exactly.
That's all it is.
So, but yes, the fact that it will be available for everyone to give it a shot, I still won't buy because I'm boycotting EA.
Yeah.
But that said, I think those who are interested in this should look at this as potentially a good sign that clearly they are comfortable and confident with their product. And and obviously do yourself a favor and download the demo because you really want to see what you're getting into. Not that, I mean, yes, it was one of my predictions of whatever that was just going to be kind of meh, but you know what I mean? But
not that demos are indicative of the final product.
True that
Destiny
too.
once that's high.
That is, yeah, although that was a demo, but they called it a beta. You know what I mean? But yes, although to be fair, that's basically what we got in the game. So it wasn't completely off either. So
no, exactly.
But yeah, keep in mind, just a demo.
Sir, you know that Nintendo has been in the console business for over 30 years now?
Console business, yes. Business over 100 years.
Yeah, business over 100 years when they were doing card games and whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. So Nintendo could eventually move away from consoles, says its new president, actually. So Nintendo has become known for developing games on its own dedicated hardware over the last 30 years. But that could eventually change. The company's new president, Shuntaro Furukawa, stated in a recent interview that the company is open to changing its approach based on shifting technologies, even if that means no longer developing its own consoles. So that's kind of striking right there.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised that there was not a lot of tremor around that about those news. I mean, it's not because it's any announcement, but because the fact that they could consider the thing that everybody has been
wanting forever,
exactly, which is Nintendo games on the platforms that
I actually play. Yes,
something like that.
Playing Super Mario Odyssey on my PlayStation 5. Interesting. Interesting thought.
I mean, you meant Xbox too, but I understand what you meant.
Sure.
So the quote from Furukawa-san says, "We aren't really fixated on our consoles," he said to Nikkei, translated by Nintendo Everything.
Mm-hmm.
At the moment, we're offering the uniquely developed Nintendo Switch and its software, and that's what we are basing how we deliver the Nintendo experience on. That being said, technology changes. We'll continue to think flexibly about how to deliver that experience as time goes on. And then the quote continues, it has been over 30 years since we started developing consoles. Nintendo's history goes back even farther than that. And through all the struggles that they have faced, the only thing that they thought about was what to make next. In the long term, perhaps our focus as a business could shift away from home consoles. Flexibility is just as important as ingenuity. I like the way this guy thinks. Actually, one of the things I was a strong critic about the past Nintendo administration under
Iwata?
Iwata-san, may he rest in peace, was that Nintendo was kind of becoming a little too predictable and stale on the ideas and samey. So to hear the president, Furukawa-san, talk about being flexible and open to ideas, which could mean anything. It doesn't necessarily need to means Nintendo games on other platform. It could mean streaming services.
Which they're far behind.
Exactly. It could mean live services.
Yeah.
Who knows? But the fact that he's thinking that way, it is a very good indication of possibly more dynamic and robust Nintendo. I mean, not to say Nintendo is not robust, but let's face it, their online strategy has been tepid,
ridiculous,
and that is putting it nicely.
Yeah.
That is putting it diplomatically. So hoping that them embracing technology, the newest technology, and even if it means we don't get a Switch 2 or something like that, if we still get the amazing the quality games and maybe peripherals and stuff like that are so intricate of Nintendo, except for Nintendo Labo, then I think it's a win-win for gamers. Yeah. I think I think it's awesome. I mean, it'll suck in a sense to lose Nintendo. Like, I don't want to. I like the idea of a Nintendo console. Don't get me wrong. I like the idea of a Nintendo console. So that it kind of sucked to see that go, because then it's like less competitors. But that said, if it's to make a better Nintendo experience and better Nintendo games and stuff like that, then I'm all for it.
I mean, we have been saying, or we, and I want to say that the industry has been already sort of predicting the end of the console market. And the reason for that is because the console itself will become obsolete and the games will continue and essentially just be available in all devices. You'll have your TV and it'll have your PlayStation app and your Xbox app, and you'll just be able to just either download it or stream it, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So that's the future we're leading to anyway. And Nintendo should be smart enough to know a 100-and-something-year-old company to know, hey, the tides are turning soon, and they're not that they're behind as far as the markets. They're doing really well, but when it comes to technology, they're still a bit back on that. So they can even go, all right, do we spend the money to get to this point to match them just for us to go, oh, well, there goes the console market because now we have to move over there? Yeah. Or do we start that now and say, hey, right around the same time, PlayStation and whatever and Xbox is going to be doing their streaming services and whatever, we'll just jump into the fray, and hey, his games, it'll be available on all these things. Yeah. And at that point, they've made the smart move to move away from the console because it's already going to be a dying product to begin with. Yeah. And move into our games are where we excel, and we'll bring that to everything. Now that the console market is gone, we don't have to worry about this console war. It'll be gone. Here are the games. It is available wherever. Either they'll have their own Nintendo app, or they'll just have it on, wherever.
You just said it. You just said it right there. It's on Nintendo app. So the idea occurred to me because he last year, as I recall, one of the things he was talking about was their mobile strategy. Yeah. And how they were considering making
more mobile games
as the pillar of the some pillar games coming to the mobile platform. Now you look at phones right now. Phones right now are incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
They are
more powerful than some of these consoles. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely
way better than the Switch.
How come nobody has come up with the idea of maybe do something proprietary? Not proprietary, but something standardized, something that you can immediately hook your phone to the TV. and like turn it into your proper gaming console. You know,
it'll be
something
like a
that.
Chromecast that you just you basically attach to the TV.
Yeah. Well, probably
Absolutely.
because they will have to sell their games on their Google Play Store or Apple Store, and they don't want to do the
I mean,
the revenue
either way,
split.
well, true. They probably don't want to do the revenue split, but if you're doing it on all the stores, you
Yeah.
still get, and you have the classic of the classic games.
All right, so
you know what I mean?
I propose. See, I got the idea for you. You're gonna like
Okay.
this. All right, ready for it?
Mhm.
All Nintendo products, PC exclusive. How you like that? PC exclusive, sir. When are you buying your next PC? When are you upgrading?
Sir, I think my current laptop can run pretty much all of Nintendo games, so I think I'll be fine.
Definitely.
I think I'll
And
be all
yet
right.
you don't play them.
I know that's the problem because they're on the fucking computer. Who says that shit? Fuck this shit. All right, my next piece and my last piece because I don't really there was not really much else going on. I mean, other than the one that you're holding on to.
The one.
The ace.
I thought you were
the
gonna
ace
bring
of
it
this-
up.
Oh, I can do that too if you want, but
You know what? Just drop it.
Let me just get this out.
Okay,
of the way.
yeah,
Real
get
quick,
that out of the way,
Real quick, David Fincher and the Deadpool director joined forces for a Netflix animated anthology series. The reason I say they really bring it up, one, because obviously, like I said in the last podcast, a certain gentleman by the name of Bill who moved over from Activision to Netflix, he gave me some money, so I have to constantly, pimp up Netflix here.
Netflix, yes.
So Tim Miller,
This show is brought to you by Netflix. Not really.
Not
But
really.
we hope so in the future.
Tim Miller, who made Deadpool, and David Fincher, who did The Fight Club, The Social Network, are joining forces to executive produce an adult-oriented animated anthology series
Sold.
for Netflix.
I mean, whatever it is.
It's called Love, Death, and Robots.
Oh, dude. That's,
I know.
it
It already sounds good, right?
I'm the biggest fan already.
Yeah.
I have a T-shirt
It will
and a tattoo.
It will include 18 episodes animated in different styles and covering a range of genres from science fiction, fantasy to horror and comedy. A different team of animators worked on each separate episode, ensuring that every individual episode has its own distinct style. The short range from photorealistic 3D to traditional 2D, while varying in styles in between. According to the teaser tweeted by Netflix NX account, the subject of the shorts delve into everything from sentient dairy
Okay.
to werewolf soldiers, just to name a few wacky elements on the list.
And do they have the Mad Dog?
Oh, dude.
And the Dream Twister?
And the Dream Twister. Yes.
Wait.
Episode 17. That's Mad Dog and the Dream Twister.
And, okay. That's when they meet the Sparrow Wolf.
Oh, yes. Nice.
To
And the
defeat the
Chaos
evil forces
Reaper.
of the Chaos Reaper. Yes.
Love it.
Love it. That's
I'm
it.
in.
We wrote the
I'm in.
script.
That's it.
We
yeah.
wrote the script.
Call me, Bill. I got this. I got this.
All right. I still want to leave that one to you because I feel like you could bring it with more pizza. So I'm just going to bring,
Okay.
I'm just going to get this out of the way because it's PC gaming related and who really matters.
All right, I'm gonna take a nap here while you say that.
Who cares about PC gaming, is right? So NVIDIA GeForce graphic cards are set to support FreeSync displays. 6 years after G-Sync debuted, the NVIDIA's proprietary variable refresh rate solution for gaming monitors, it's becoming a little bit more open. For those who don't know, variable refresh rate is what allows your monitor refresh rate to match almost the frame rate of your game to a certain extent. The idea here is that when your monitor is refreshing at the same frame rate, at the same speed as your frame rates, your experience, it doesn't look choppy. It looks very smooth, even below 60 frames per second. It'll give you the impression of very smooth frame rates, and also fixes the problem with tearing. Which is when you see graphics and just like it sounds, you see a tear in your graphics. So it solves that. It's one of my favorite technologies of the recent era. One that, surprisingly enough, the Xbox One is supporting. The problem is that not a lot of TVs support it yet, but I can see next gen consoles supporting it day one. especially the FreeSync, because just like the name states, it's a free technology. The G-Sync, the difference with that is that G-Sync has an actual hardware module that your monitor has to have in order for the graphics card kind of like to be able to work. With FreeSync, it's all software related, So before time, you could have
Back in the day.
you could have a graphics card, an NVIDIA graphics card that supported G-Sync, but if your monitor did not support G-Sync, you couldn't take advantage of that. You could use the FreeSync alternative, but it was to a certain extent. It was not great. It was not a great experience. Well, now that's about to change. The company announced in CES 2019 that it will soon certify certain FreeSync monitors as G-Sync compatible. This is big news, as it means that NVIDIA graphics card owners will have the option of buying FreeSync gaming monitors instead of being limited to G-Sync models, which are often significantly more expensive due to their physical G-Sync module. So that was the thing. They would cost more because he had that piece of hardware. NVIDIA tested more than 400 FreeSync monitors to find those that met its standards for G-Sync. That included looking at metrics like a wide frame rate range where a variable refresh rate could be enabled. For example, at 60 hertz to 144 hertz. Whether variable refresh rate was enabled by default, and whether variable refresh rate gaming produced any unwanted artifacts like ghosting or flickering. Right now, of the 400 monitors that they tested, only 12 made the cut, and they have become the first G-Sync certified monitors on the market. G-Sync compatible monitor support will arrive in the first 2019 game-ready drivers, which will be scheduled to release on January 15. Now, I wanted to say, it's not that if your monitor is not on that list of 12 means that your monitor is completely non-valid. It's just that it's not certified. Therefore, you can still test it when the drivers get released. You can still test your monitor if you don't have a G-Sync monitor, but you have a FreeSync one, and it might work. It might work just fine, or it might give you not so great things like ghostings, image, etc. So. But it's good. It's cool because it suddenly opens the door for PC gamers to have a little bit more wider range of monitors they can choose from. They don't have to stick to, like in my case, I have only bought exclusively G-Sync monitors ever since I own NVIDIA graphics card, and because of that, I have paid a pretty premium for having the G-Sync module. Now I probably no longer have to worry about that.
Nice.
So. Now, is it now?
It is now.
All right. Now, this is the one. You guys already know about this, but we need to talk about this because
It's interesting.
It's interesting. We're going to talk about our impressions on this news. Go ahead, sir.
So the news piece, the last news piece to close out the news segment, Bungie and publisher Activision are bringing their 8-year Destiny partnership to a close.
Oh, I like to hear better the term. They're divorcing, because this was never a holy union to begin with.
This is what Hollywood calls a mutual uncoupling.
Uncoupling.
That's what it's called. Today, this is a quote. Today, we are announcing plans for Bungie to assume full publishing rights and responsibility for the Destiny franchise.
That's a big one, too.
Bungie and Activision said in a joint statement, going forward, Bungie will own and develop the franchise, and Activision will increase its focus on owned IP and other projects. Activision and Bungie are committed to a seamless transition for the Destiny franchise and will continue to work closely together during the transition on behalf of the community of Destiny players around the world. We have enjoyed a successful 8-year run and would like to thank Activision for their partnership on Destiny. Looking ahead, we're excited to announce plans for Activision to transfer publishing rights for Destiny to Bungie. With our remarkable Destiny community, we are ready to publish on our own, while Activision will increase their focus on their own IP. The planned transition process is already underway in its early stages, with Bungie and Activision both committed to making making sure the handoff is as seamless as possible. Bungie said in its plans to deliver on future Destiny 2 content, as outlined in the public roadmaps, and hinted at future content for the game. With Forsaken, we've learned and listened and lean into what we believe our players want from a great Destiny experience. Rest assured, there is more on the way. We'll continue to deliver on the existing Destiny roadmap, and we're looking forward to releasing more seasonal experiences in the coming months, as well as surprising our community with some exciting announcement about what lies ahead. And it kind of goes on into the story goes on to their history and how when they first got together and all this good stuff. So we already know that.
Here.
So, sir, what does this mean to you?
Well, after the initial shock of the news, I was working at the moment, and I had to put myself in a way and and sit down and read this and review it, because it almost felt magical. It was wonderful. It was. I absolutely love the idea that Bungie has gone and it had the resources to go indie, exactly. Because, and I'll tell you why. There's no doubt that even with its downs and ups, Bungie is a ridiculously talented studio. Mm-hmm. They're one of the finest gaming studios out there, alongside with others like Blizzard, like CD Projekt Red, and
the big guys.
Even BioWare to a certain extent, and they're there. Mm-hmm. They're there. To hear that they're no longer under the yoke of Activision, it brings me hope for the entire Destiny series and for the possibility, or even other, properties. Although they're gonna stick with Destiny for a little bit longer, I guess. I have a feeling, because they no longer have to. They have the time to develop things and not just rush into the market, mm-hmm. and also not feel that necessity, that greedy necessity of Activision of Omega monetizing everything. That doesn't mean they're not gonna do it, but it's not gonna take a turn to, well, you guys are underperforming now. You're really gonna have to do something to bring out the cash, because otherwise we're just gonna dissolve or whatever, whatever they could have actually end up happening. This is a great opportunity for Bungie, as well. I'm sure. Well, I'm sure that everybody there is like elated. So much so that I heard, reports that when the news got announced on their town hall meeting, mm-hmm. people were like super celebrating, like bottles of champagne were being out open, and like this was like the best thing for them, like quite a ways to open 2019. Yeah. And I'm very happy for that. I can't wait now to before I felt like Bungie was Activision, and I don't like Activision, just like I don't like EA, because those are companies that they're not gamer centric. They are shareholder centric.
Yeah, a company who obviously is
publicly traded. It will be. I guess. But because of that, unfortunately, the way that they want to transition everything into live the games as service, which we're going to be talking about.
GaaS,
into GaaS, exactly. They're just interested on the GaaS, and they want you to produce in GaaS. It was worrisome because I felt like just like Bungie was just gonna be a Destiny machine. Mm-hmm. Like it really didn't feel like it was gonna be anything other than that until that died. And you know what happens when an Activision property dies?
So does the developer.
So does the developer. Yeah. Exactly.
Well, yeah.
Never solved.
Yeah.
Tony Hawk.
I get it. Yeah. But
Guitar Hero.
Yeah. It's either that or you get put on a project that you don't want to do.
Yeah,
but this is what we
you're
want
gonna
you
end
to
up
do. Yeah.
working Call of
Correct.
Duty.
One of the
you
two,
know,
yeah.
exactly.
You may get downsized and get put on a project. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I am, of course, also happy for them because the fact that the publisher and developer relationship is a tricky one.
Yeah.
Some of the obviously publishers do take advantage and do have ridiculous milestones and they expect results and blah 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 blah, and we get that. That's how business works. To know that Destiny is going to Bungie will be going off on their own. Obviously, they are now free to do things at their own pace.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to worry about shareholders. They don't have to worry about whatever. I don't know if
They can have multiple projects.
I don't know if Bungie is publicly company itself. Going alone will be publicly traded, but that's beside the point.
Yeah.
That said, I am happy for them because obviously the creative minds will always be the minds behind the project going forward. That said, and not to be contrarian or devil's advocate or anything like that.
You're gonna advocate for Activision. I knew you were gonna do that.
I'm not saying
I knew you were gonna rain on my parade.
I'm not going to.
I'm kidding.
I will say this. I will say that this is good. However, if in 2 years, since whenever the cut happens, time passes and the same complaints, the same issues, the same things that people had a problem with from Bungie and the games and the stuff that they've done and all this stuff, if they're still there, if they're still apparent, at some point you have to say, okay, how much of it was really Activision in the whole thing of it? You know what I'm saying? Chances are, especially with the celebration, chances are that's not the case. But you kind of have to wonder if when we go for it now, obviously if they take off and they become a CD Projekt Red, then yes, the world needs more CD Projekt Reds. You know what I mean? And
I'll be happy if they become an Epic. I don't care.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
They're super successful. I mean, I don't care for Fortnite, but I appreciate the success of it.
But I recognize it as being very important to the industry. You know what I mean? So yeah. I am happy for them, and hopefully, like I said, this move will improve their products. We will definitely see if the final products they've been giving. Now, this makes me wonder about one thing: Destiny 3, because it was supposed to, if I remember correctly, hearing very early on, this was supposed to be a 3-game deal. You know what I mean? With
a 10-year plan. Yeah,
3-game deal, which will be coming up to that. We were going to be coming up to that soon. However, obviously things have changed. So I'm curious to see if we ever get the story of it. I'd like to see maybe a no-clip documentary on this. You know what I mean? To see if we get the full from Bungie as to, hey, this is how things were. Maybe not obviously talking bad about Activision, because you don't want to face a lawsuit. You know what I mean, like that. But maybe painting a clearer picture as to what was going on and maybe explain why certain shortcomings of the game happen. Because maybe, again, milestones, maybe they needed an additional year and a half, and that's what they're asking for. But because, nope, that's not how Activision works. Get the game out. You know what I mean? So
it is. The animosity between the companies was very well known and very well referenced. A no clip will definitely bring that up. I'm sure. I mean, it's a good investigative report.
Correct. It definitely will, but it doesn't mean that the person they interview from Bungie will be as candid as we may.
Yeah,
they may dance around the subject, or maybe with somebody from Activision may definitely dance around the subject.
But it definitely brings. Obviously, the fact that they are keeping the Destiny brand, and it didn't happen like with Microsoft. With Microsoft, when Bungie split from Microsoft, Microsoft were like, okay, we're gonna let you go. It's fine, but we're keeping Halo. We're keeping the brand.
Yeah, which is obviously a smart thing to do. Let's be real.
And it was huge. This was back when Halo was huge. So leaving.
Not really getting dividends from that right now.
Especially we haven't heard any. Anyway, Battle Royale. The fact is in this case, kind of in a surprising move, but maybe not so much. Activision said, "Sure, you can go and take that Destiny with you. Take your own Destiny. We don't want it, because you gotta remember, on the eyes of Activision, Destiny 2 and the Forsaken was underperforming because there was not,
True.
and they were disappointed with the with the earnings from the game. And in the meantime, I believe his name is Luke Smith. I might be getting the title wrong. I want to say he's the executive producer, but
Bungie?
yeah, but he might not be. Who knows? But
Someone
a
from
representative
Bungie.
from Bungie was saying like, oh no, we're fine with this. This this is okay. This is the and it's not that they were having short expectations. It was they were having realistic expectations. Unlike the Bungies and EAs and Ubisofts of the world, where you could have an intellectual property that makes you 5 million, and that's a failure because they were expecting 10, even though no property gets 10 in the allotted time that they are, that they're giving it, So maybe Bungie, knowing their realistic expectation, could create something. I definitely see them supporting Destiny 2, but also see them working on this, on Destiny 3. Or who knows? They might just decide to expand and continue using Destiny 2 as a platform as it was originally
exactly
intended.
What the original intent was for Blizzard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Although my understanding is that the tools of the Destiny game and this engine in general, which is a similar engine that has powered the Halo games, it is not very user friendly. I'm sure that a smart Bungie will already be on the working on a newer engine that is easier to work with. I'm hoping. But overall, I'm very pleased to hear this, and I think I can't think of better feel good news so far this year, other than maybe hearing that the same thing happens and Blizzard divorces from Activision. That would be great. That will never happen because it's Activision Blizzard.
I think it's too intertwined at this point.
At this point, and also
they basically there's this tree that has a I don't know where it is, but basically it's like there's like this sap or maybe like this thing that they have to live with each other. They can't.
Oh,
the tree,
yeah.
If you take the something off of it, the tree dies. And vice versa. The thing only lives because it has a tree.
There's the symbiote.
I don't know why. Thank you. A symbiote relationship.
The symbiote relationship that I have is too strange.
I don't know where that came from.
And the problem
I heard that somewhere in the past.
No, it's a good analogy.
Yeah.
And also because of that, some might say that Blizzard has become a little too corrupted already.
Yeah.
Diablo Immortal says hi.
Spider-Man 3. Oh no, wait. A symbiote suit. Fucking Spider-Man.
Yeah, at that point,
making Blizzard dance.
You're full of symbiotes today.
I know. I'll be here all week, guys.
So best of luck to Bungie.
Definitely. I wanted to quickly comment before moving on to this. You had mentioned before. I wonder, and again, I wonder if this will be brought up, but I wonder the reason why Bungie was able to retain the property is because it's not the same as Halo. Halo was not a service that you had to maintain and get, and you had to have the right people. I mean, imagine for a moment, Bungie saying, "All right, man, you keep Destiny. We're done with you. We can't deal, so we're out." And then Activision going, "Who the hell do we have that can man this boat?"
It's like, no, you take this crap
take
away
your shit with you.
you.
Yeah, if you're gonna leave, then take the shit with you.
Take the shit with you.
So I can almost see Activision going, "Okay, this would not be cost effective because we don't have anyone who knows the people who knows how to fix and handle this." Are gone. Might as well let him take with. So I wonder if that's something that they took into consideration when they said.
But still, I mean, being Activision, I can definitely see them being like, no, on the contract, you're gonna have to support it until this day. It's gonna be at least a year, at least 6 months now, and then we're just gonna close shop and fuck gamers that bought it because they won't be able to log anymore because this is the end of life. I can see Activision definitely doing that.
If it's true, but if it was meant to be a 10-year thing, I can also see Bungie finding some sort of loophole and saying, okay, we've delivered this and we're out. We're not going any further from this. And if you really want to,
they didn't need a loophole because it's the 8th year and they divorced
of the 10-year.
Of the 10 year,
That's what I'm saying. The loophole allowed them to divorce at the 8th year. Yeah. So
the loophole is this thing is too heavy. You guys carry it. I'm done. We're done with you.
We'll let you go. Just take it with you.
Just take it with you. Yeah.
All right, guys, we'll be right back with our hot topic. We're back, guys, and we're going to go right into our hot topic of the week. Woohoo!
I love the fact that we say everything
Together.
in unison
in
now.
sync, yes.
Yeah, that's how long we've been doing
That's how
this.
2019 is going to be, bro.
Oh,
That's it.
okay.
This
So
is
with the
what-
Wonder Twins.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Form off a bucket of water.
I'll do the bucket. You do the water.
Okay, yes. Because that solved everything.
Exactly.
Always.
Super Friends was good stuff, for the record. It was good stuff.
By the way, I always thought that Super Friend was the Justice League, period.
Well, I mean, that's what it's based off of, but it's not. It was just. Now, where do the Wonder Twins come in? I think that was for the show only. I really do.
Because I don't remember them being super friendly.
Are you kidding me? They
On
were
the
always
Justice League.
smiling and always like, "Hey."
They were pissed off,
Make sure you brush your teeth. And,
Oh no! Yes,
Yeah.
of course. On the Super Friends. I'm talking about the Justice League.
Oh, the Justice
Especially
League.
the Justice League.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
They were not super friendly.
No, they weren't. Especially Batman. That dude is mean.
He doesn't
He's
like
just not
the-
a happy guy.
Yeah, no.
Oh man. So no, the hot topic.
Sorry.
No, you're good. The hot topic this week, guys, is 2019's Games as a Service winners and losers.
The GaaS Award.
Yes, this is we're giving the awards like preempting. You know, it's like, here you go. We think you are going to like thrive in 2019. You, on the other hand, will be dead on arrival.
Yeah,
Here is your award. You know, so that fairly to elaborate a little bit as to what this topic entails, and that essentially is this: we're going to quickly review a little bit of the prior games of services from the prior years that are still thriving and available and still making money and everything and stuff, right? And then, of course, the new players that will be coming into the market in 2019 to contend and challenge, and try to earn a little bit of that pie. You know what I mean? Now, that said, we wanted to, I guess, elaborate a little bit onto what we feel a game as a service actually is.
Yes, we were having a very interesting conversation.
Yes,
at the beginning,
which you guys all missed.
Which we guys all missed, exactly. So we're gonna dramatize it.
We're going to try to anyway.
No, because it all stems from the fact that there seems to be in the general gaming population, there seems to be some confusion as to what is exactly games as services. Is it a game that gets continuously patched or continuously updated, or are there other things, like what differentiate games as service from, say, an MMO, for example, and stuff like that?
I want to call an MMO generally, especially the ones with a subscription service, a game as a service.
Yeah.
I
I would say, even though their monetization levels were not the same, but just in spirit, it's actually achieving the same thing.
The same thing, yeah.
So we wanted to clarify that.
So specifically, the purpose of a game as a service, one, it is delivering that exact word, a service. It's basically, it will deliver new content, not as patches or fixes, but new actual story or stuff like that as content. Perfect example would be Overwatch, which is a game as a service. You get the occasional new character and new maps and stuff like that, which are obviously being funded by the microtransaction from the loot boxes and everything that's going on. So that's one version of it. The other one's the MMO, which I mentioned. You have the subscription services for them. Even when they go free to play, you don't see them often. You don't see them often anymore. But when they go to free to play, you still have some sort of service in the background that you're paying for, either new expansions or just smaller stuff that you can use in game, and you can whatever. So those are what are considered your games as a service. It is a constant evolving game that includes new content for monetary. Obviously, you're not just getting it for free. There's a monetary thing in the background, and but at the same time, you are getting delivered a new experiences and stuff like that when the game. For instance, I think Fortnite probably. I mean, we can probably spoil this right now. 2018's number one GaaS game.
Yeah,
You know
number
what I
one
mean?
gas game. Yeah.
It's they basically they're forgot what I was going to say with this, but
Well, they are actually they were one of the main examples of a very successful
yes.
games as service
Games as service.
platform. And the clarification that I wanted to bring is the fact that yes, the quintessential thing that you have to remember as a game as service is that this is the way that the publishers are looking. These are the new fountains of revenue that the publishers are looking, and this is nothing new. This not started actually in 2018.
No,
in 2018
no.
it was coined. I
It's-
will say the phrase was coined, but this goes back to the earlier FIFA games, for example.
Yes.
When they will bring you the build the ultimate teams. You know, remember the
Yeah.
card that you will get. And the idea was that it was almost discovered almost like an accident. Suddenly, it became something that was so successful to EA that, in this case, because EA holds the license to the FIFA games, that they started thinking of ways of implementing this gaming.
Service.
Revenue services to other games. Like if you guys remember, a perfect example would be Mass Effect 3 with the multiplayer, which suddenly started including sort of loot boxes that you could buy.
Yeah.
And that alone made more than half of the revenue of the total revenue that in this case EA's was made that fiscal year. It was such a it was such a success that this is now what publishers are looking to
developers.
pursue, and developers are looking to pursue. So you got to think of it this way: it's not about just receiving patches; it's not about receiving content. When you receive free content, like in the case of Overwatch, let's say and I love that you gave that perfect example because people think that Overwatch is the darling of the games and services because they don't charge me. Well, they don't charge you if you're not paying, for the content. But for every you that is not paying for the content, you already bought the game. Thank you very much. There are hundreds of people, several people that will spend
for every
money.
For every one, you have probably another 5.
That are spending money. They are spending money on microtransactions, and that's what they matter. So the ultimate goal of game as a service is. At the end, and I realize this is gonna sound bleak. I don't mean it to sound bleak. I just mean it to for you guys to realize the fact. Games as service is a vehicle towards publishers gaining more money, gaining revenue. Of course, whether they don't do it out of the kindness of their heart, they're not doing it for this at the end of the day, it's the same old why.
Yeah. That said, I will stand on the other side of the line and maybe not have such a, I don't want to call it pessimistic, but such a bleak, as you mentioned, outlook of it. Because I will say that, yes, for every EA and for every Activision and all this stuff, you do have, I would say, other, probably services that are out there who are wanting to bring you the content. And yes, they're going to charge you for it because that content should cost money. It's what it is. And hey, that paying for that will allow them to move on to the next chapter or next, I don't know, season or whatever the case may be that it is. Yes, of course, it is about making money, but I would argue that probably for mostly the developer side, they're like, oh, well, we do need this so we can continue to provide. Otherwise, we have to move on to the next game because if we're not going to make anything here, then we have to stop.
Well,
you know what I mean. So
and this is what I don't mean to point to bleak because of course. It is a revenue. It's making money is not bad. I mean, obviously they're not making these games, for free for the sake of, of doing something nice.
Mm-hmm.
When I say yes, I do recognize that there are publishers that are a lot. They're not as predatory. Let's say, for example, like the people that do this free to play game. This is a Diablo clone, but it's a very good one. The name
Pillars
is
of something? No.
shoot, I forget, but
Oh,
I feel like
library there.
at some point, yeah, I got the list right here, and I don't think I have it installed, and that's why it's not showing. But anyway,
The point is that there's other ones.
there's this game there's this game that does, and they do it very lightly. They do it with cosmetics, and they're not constantly
It's
pushing
not
it.
Pillars of Eternity.
No, it's not Pillars of Eternity. It is
That's
something
okay.
else.
Sorry.
And anyway, the point being that yes, not all of them have to be pushing it in your face. Not all of them have to be giving you like the ridiculous bad odds of getting what you want.
Mm-hmm.
But they all have the same, the same goal, which is obviously to make more money. And I don't necessarily see the advent of games as services as something that has been positive to the industry. And the reason I say it is because for the advent of these games is the reason why we're losing a lot of the, say, for example, games like Spider-Man and God of War and those things, where now it seems to be in the minority rather than back in the day when we used to get those type of games that you didn't have to worry about them trying to sell you the season pass, for example, or try to sell you the loot boxes, even if they don't push it in your face.
Yeah.
It's still
Yeah,
there.
I can definitely agree that there are.
And I need to
ones.
find the name of that game because I need to give it justice. So
Okay, so you do that. So we're gonna start while he looks for that. We're gonna start
I'll
with
look for that.
last year, or should we say the years prior? That games that we already mentioned. That what is it? You have it there?
It is starts with a D. God bless America. It's not this house.
It's in alphabetical order, so scroll down.
I need to see, but I need to see these names. Keep going, sir.
Oh, this is great radio right here.
Let me see. Green Dawn. No, it's not Green Dawn. Green Dawn is a game that is just a game. You pay once and you own it.
So not a game as a service. Okay.
Yeah, it's not a game service. I want to tell you another thing that I think with games as a service that is problematic, and that is the fact that when the service is no longer viable, that when they're not selling anymore, they shut that shit down, and that game is over. Like,
Well, yeah,
you don't
well,
get
that's the nature of the games to have a server in the background that's going to do it.
Yeah.
But if it's not making money anymore, you got to pull the plug. You move on.
Yeah, exactly. So I kind of like the games that I purchased that I can play it at any time, and I don't have to worry about a ticking clock. Thank you very much.
True, but you also don't really play a lot of multiplayer games. So
No.
these tend to be that.
They tend to be that for the most part. God.
All right, never mind. We're moving on. We can't find it. It is what it is. So the winners the winners who have survived through the past. Obviously, we have Fortnite. Fortnite being the number one game as a service. It is literally everywhere.
Yes, Fortnite.
But you do have some other ones. Destiny 2, obviously, that is a game as a service. He's still looking it up.
Path of fucking Exile.
What did I say?
Pillars of Eternity.
Oh shit, that's the one.
Path of Exile.
Okay.
Go play Path of Exile right now. That is a completely free to play game. It has the production values that rival a Diablo, especially the Diablo phone game. It is.
Oh, yeah,
it is really good. Another one, Warframe. Warframe is I would call it almost this is digital extremes, darling.
So you're jumping ahead because I was going to bring Warframe into the fold, but go ahead.
All right. Well, Warframe is the epitome of a well-done game as service. It's completely free to play game where they have. It's not an easy game to get to. I get it, but you're getting it for free, and good things come to those who make the effort, right?
Yes, absolutely.
That's how the saying goes. Sure.
We'll go with that.
So it's a game that plays fantastic, runs on everything. There's a Switch version, for crying out loud. You can get this game, and and you get the full game, and that it has of course the downloadable content and the monetary parts of it, but it is fair. It is well done. The community the developers are constantly
they're listening to their community.
To the community,
they do the changes that they need to do to better the experience.
and it's an older game. It's an
It's
older
almost
platform.
5 years old at this point.
And they have been continually.
Correct.
It's been evolving. So yeah, that's a perfect.
I will
example.
definitely mention Warframe now that we brought it up.
Yes,
and say
Warframe.
that is one that obviously has survived
That
the
should
test
win.
of time. Well, I mean, yes, it should win. I think they've done really well with that.
Yes.
Other ones, again, I mentioned Destiny 2. I mean, it did come out a couple years ago, but it still had its following. It still had everything going for it last year as well. We still have For Honor. For Honor is the Ubisoft game that's, I don't know, you have knights versus samurai versus...
Yeah, it's warriors of different types fighting each other,
Correct.
regardless of eras.
Yeah. Even though they don't exist in the same area,
No.
but yeah.
And it is pretty good, actually.
Yeah. It's gotten a very good stuff, and it's survived. Again, it's still out there. It has its community.
Yeah.
It has its updates. These are the ones that have made it through. Who else am I missing? You mentioned Path
Oh,
of Exile.
I got one for you.
Yeah.
Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege.
The Rainbow Six Siege. Thank you. I can't believe I forgot that one.
Let me tell you about Rainbow Six Siege, because lately I've been curious. I haven't played it, but I've been curious enough to look at some streams and get some information, and if I was interested on competitive multiplayer games. This game looks like it came out. I think it was like do you remember when Tom Clancy's Patriots was being made? There was Tom Clancy. There was a new Tom Clancy game. It was going to be on the Rainbow Six, and it was Rainbow Six Patriots.
Yeah.
And that never came to be.
Oh.
But the assets were there already, and they kind of like put it together, and they made this the Rainbow Six Siege. And when it came out, the game, I mean, it was okay. It was your typical Ubisoft game that at first it comes out to meddling reviews, but then Ubisoft keeps polishing it and polishing it with the service in mind.
Warframe, yes.
And now it has become this thing that is amazing, where it has like hundreds of different types of operators that you can choose from. Each of them with a specific with their specific stats but also the power, the things that they can do. I'm going to call it the powers. The skills. There you go. Skills is a better word. That's the word I'm looking for. And dude, it's like, okay, if I was totally into this, like this could easily be my only game. And I don't hear a lot of people in our group talking about it, even though I'm sure someone had got to be playing this.
I know a few people
because the game is huge,
but they are not on the group because of whatever reason, because they suck. But yes, I do know a few people that do play.
Because they're busy. They're playing this.
Fuck that shit. They still suck. No. But no, they obviously they're constantly into that. That is definitely one of those games that it is very difficult to get into now as a newbie.
That's a newbie. Yeah, that's the thing.
Because it is definitely definitely one of those games that you know your skill you're going to get killed a lot in the beginning.
Yes.
So these are obviously clearly winners so far because they have lasted. They still are exactly as I mentioned. They still exist. They're still making money. They're still giving content. So who would you consider losers?
So the ones that we mentioned, they're all winners then.
Yes.
Okay.
These are the ones winners, and they're coming into 2019 strong, I would say.
Yeah.
Because they still have their fan bases, they still have their communities. Who do you think?
I have another one that you haven't thought about. It's gonna blow your mind. Another
Minecraft.
Actually,
that is one. Yeah.
Okay, no.
Technically, but I don't think they charge for anything.
What if I tell you, sir, that there is another? The Sims 4.
Sims 4. Okay.
Yes, The Sims 4 has become this game. I don't have an interest on it. I mean, don't get me wrong. Those games can be fun and can be cool and all that, but it's like not for me. I'm not gonna play The Sims because there's so many other games.
It's not my type of game either.
But that said,
but it's got its community.
Got its community that has been thriving. EA has been continuously supporting it and adding more content to it, and to the point where I would go to say that is another strong contender on the
That's actually, I mean, I would definitely say if they're still continuing it, I would say obviously they are still thriving. I don't know if it's a strong contender because I don't know many people or I don't see a lot about it. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It obviously
we're not.
still continuing,
I don't think that we're in the group, but
we're definitely not.
Yeah, it's definitely not in the group. I haven't heard of anybody playing the sim. But I seen the numbers are out there and they're doing quite well. Like it's definitely making the money that EA wants it to make, which is I mean if EA approves, you know that they're racking millions.
Yeah,
even if the core, even if
money,
us, we're not the ones targeted.
So losers. I mean, obviously the one that comes to mind would be, and I don't think it even had the moment to take off, but I'm pretty sure it was trying to do what Overwatch did, and it was Lawbreakers.
Oh geez, yeah.
And that one didn't make it, died off. It's gone. If you go back a little further, you still have Battleborn, you know what I mean? Which also didn't go very far either. I also want to say, and I don't want to call it a loser yet, but it's definitely not being talked about anywhere, and that is Battlefield 5. You know, it's like
Battlefield 5.
What's going on there? I'm not even sure if
because here's the thing. I will almost call it a loser just because, and this is not me trying to knock the game, even though it was middling at best when I played it.
Yeah.
The problem is that it has underperformed so vastly, so up to 50% less sales than the previous Battlefield 1. Which already wasn't doing like super numbers as before.
It was already taking a lower account.
So I would say, oh shit, on that front, we forgot to mention freaking Call of Duty before everybody yells at us. Call of Duty 4 is doing extremely well. Thank you very much.
It's funny with the problem with the Call of Duties. Although to be fair, I'm sure that even though they have a new one every year, they don't really, the old ones haven't gone away. You still have someone's streaming before. So the franchise itself is obviously doing just fine.
But and they're doing that game. It came out and it was a darling because it was very well it was very well made. Everybody thought that's the best Call of Duty. This and that. I wouldn't know because I never played the multiplayer on a Call of Duty until this one. That said, they have actually put the microtransactions in because that's what Activision does now. They release the game without the microtransactions, so people review and then don't have to mention them, and then they put the monetization. And let me tell you, it's a fucking doozy.
You want to hear of a doozy?
$1 for 5 or 6 red pixels on your screen. And I mean that as literal as it sounds. Well, maybe it could be more pixels depending on your resolution. But the point is that is a red dot on your reticle costs $1 for a fucking red dot. That's how low we have come in gaming. They're selling us the colors of the dots, not even the skin or anything like that. The fucking dot. If that hasn't synced in, I want you to understand.
Oh no, I get
how
it.
crap the Activision has become, and one of the reasons why I was so happy to see Destiny out of that.
Yes, continue. Because we would be paying for stupid shit like that,
dude.
So no, I was gonna say another one that is. It's hard to call this one a loser because it's
Battlefield.
Fallout.
Do we finish with Battlefield?
Yeah, Battlefield 5. Yeah,
Battlefield 5. It's not selling.
It looks like it's a loser.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still there. It did. As far as sales, it scored number 3 on the month that it came out.
But took a dive.
Exactly. Yeah. That's when I think the game was 50% off during Christmas. So
yikes.
But another game that was 50% off during Christmas, Fallout 76.
I cannot believe you brought this one right now, unless we're ending the podcast or something, because this is the closer.
So no, this is now. Here's the reason why I'm not sure. I would call it a loser because I didn't really like it. I don't think it's a very good game.
What?
Okay. However. Sales of the game is ridiculous. Okay, that's my problem. And so at some point I'm just, and not only that, they are the store's open, They're selling, dude.
Initials.
It was like $18 for the freaking Santa Claus outfit for Christmas.
Yes.
$18 for a skin.
Yes.
Okay, you want to say $1 for a reticle? $18 for a skin. So
are you talking about? Okay, so I thought you meant that, because I know that when Fallout 76, like day one sales, they were, they were okay. I expected.
the sales are still good.
No, they're not actually. I saw the latest
because it was December was actually very good.
Well, yeah, because that
Okay.
when it came out.
Okay,
I'm
so
telling you.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So the game has that right now is liquidation price. I've seen that game as low as $15.
True.
As
I agree.
15 fucking bucks, and that means
for whatever reason
that
people are still buying.
that
at
means
$15.
I mean at $15, that's a low bar.
Dude,
That's a low
the
risk.
problem there
I
is
spent $15 to play Battlefield.
the problem there is that's still a sale for Bethesda. This is why I still go back to, and this is a sidebar. I still go back to will Fallout 76. No, I don't think. But I don't even think Bethesda cares. They're like, it's selling. Who gives a shit?
I don't
You know
think.
what I mean?
I think you might be overestimating a little bit what they're doing.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It probably won't go. It's going to take a nosedive. I'm saying it's going to take a nosedive. Easily, it's going to take a nosedive.
Dude, $12. How long has it been since it got released?
It's been what, a month and a half?
A month and a half, and that game's already like $30 and $15.
I get it.
That's a bomba if I've ever seen one. I don't think I've ever seen a game go that low that it was not Evolve.
I get that.
Another game as service that failed back in the day.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Evolve. But that said, yes, I still think it's going to take a nosedive. I am still questioning what the fuck. Why are people still even at $15? It's not a game.
Oh, I tell you what. I tell you what. This is the.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I just paid $15 for Grand Theft Auto 5. And I still don't even know when I'm going to play that shit. But at least I have it now.
But that was a good choice.
At least I have it now.
That was a good. That was the best $15 you have ever spent in your entire life, and I guarantee you will say thank you at the end for spending those $15. Hallelujah.
Okay.
Anyway, the thing with Fallout 76 is that you gotta understand. We like to, we like to, like sit over here with this microphone and pretend that we know it all. And I mean, I don't mean it in a mean way. I mean it like there's a core. Mm-hmm. Us, the people in the group, for the most part, there's a core of people that are informed about games, and they follow the industry, and they have a love for the industry, and they know better. That's a minority compared to
I get it.
the masses that are uneducated.
I agree 100%. What I'm trying to say is Bethesda will know critically this game is shit. They'll know this, all right? But I don't think they care. Yeah. When you look at the numbers and go, damn, that shit still sold. Why did it sell? That's like freaking Amy. This digital game that came out to PlayStation 3. Yeah. And it literally, dude, if it got a 3, that was the highest score that it got. And it still was the number one game of that month that it came out. Yeah. It's just like, this makes no sense.
I guarantee you, however, that Bethesda is not in the... It's carrying a lot because they still have servers and they still have revenue that they were expecting to make that they did not make, which is going to have...
There's a patch coming for a lot of the stuff.
Yeah, this is going to have, pardon the pun, an atomic impact on their, on their coming. Yeah, when the things come, they're gonna like this game. Is seriously underperforming because the word of mouth has reached the masses to where the masses, even though, yes, it sold more than we would have expected for a game this bad, but the sales numbers are nowhere where Bethesda, I'm sure, Bethesda headquarters, not Bethesda, maybe it's the studio, unless they're the same entity, who knows, but...
Bethesda studio, yes.
Okay, so
all the same place.
All right, no, but I'm thinking of, there's not like the entity that only cares about money, and then there's a studio. In this case, I don't know if you can make it. I don't think you can make a distinction in Bethesda. But anyway, what I wanted to say is that they're feeling this. They are definitely going to feel that this game is not.
I am so curious to see their E3. I can't wait. I can't wait to see if they
it's
even
canceled.
do E3.
It's
You think so? They're not even doing it.
No, they're not even doing it.
Man, they better have something to say. I'll tell you that much.
And I cannot believe that I did not put that as one of my predictions.
That they're
on a
gonna
couple
do
of- The E3 is canceled. Sony's not
Bethesda
there.
E3 is
Bethesda's
done.
not there. You know, this E3 is gonna be canceled. Microsoft is the only one that is gonna be saying something. And then
They'll be by themselves out there,
company, this is gonna be the
Oh, that's
most
great.
pathetic E3 that we have seen. I'm not even looking forward to this E3.
That is great, man. You know what? At this point, I took the day off. I might just go to
I might
work.
as well. I'll go to the beach.
Oh, man. All right, so let's quickly get into 2019 now. So we have a couple new players coming into 2019. We'll start with the top. Hello. Start with the best one, or the biggest one. Let's put it this way. We don't know if it's the best. Anthem. Anthem's entering,
yes.
and we all know that bad boy is a gaming service. One, because it's from EA. You know what I'm saying? Because everything from EA is gaming service. So far, like I said, I mentioned earlier in the podcast that, you know, the fact that they are releasing a demo to kind of, you know, get hype going and say, hey, this is what we have. Again, it's just a small portion of the game, you know what I mean? Which could be pretty much what the whole game will be. But that said, it sounds like it's a little bit of confidence there.
Do you know who also did a demo? Fallout 76.
They did do it.
BETA.
Yes, the BETA. Break it early
till
something. I don't know.
Oblivion.
Anyway, Oblivion.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think Anthem will clearly have a tail. I think it will. I mean, it's the biggest one. Everybody's very hyped for
Everybody's hyped for
I think
this game.
that it will do well. I don't think it's going to fizzle out. I think it's actually going to be one of the good ones.
The way that the only way that this will fizzle out, and I at this point, I mean, anything is possible in the gaming industry. I mean, Fallout 76 says hello again.
Correct. Yes.
But because you got to remember, I pre-ordered that shit the same day that it was announced.
Yes.
I was so excited.
Well, they sold it well.
Good thing I canceled my pre-order when I saw better. But to say, if I had to place bets, I will place my bets on the fact that this game is gonna do it. It's gonna do it's gonna do well enough. I don't think it's gonna be a train wreck. I don't think it's gonna be a Fallout 76 situation. Like, BioWare cannot afford this to lose. Let's put it this way.
No, not at all.
This is they're putting their lives on the line over here. The studio is. So they cannot afford this to suck. So you better believe they're putting the 110%. And I hope so. I hope that this game is stellar. So
I think I honestly have. Well, I don't know.
To the point of like. To the point of making you angry for the fact that you had that I've freaking boycotted.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's what I want, and I seriously want you guys to understand that I do want to be pissed from February on that I am not going to get Anthem because I boycotted EA. I really want it to be good. I don't know if it will be. Yeah. I think it will have. I honestly think it will have legs. I just don't think it's. I think, like you said, this is their.
It's going to be big.
This is their Final Fantasy.
It's going to be. Yeah.
So they
it's
have
be big
to
on 2019.
Absolutely.
Shit. Damn it. Final Fantasy 15, yes, another game of service. Believe it or not, that came.
True. It's a niche one, but
and it's not complete. They left it incomplete now because they cut all that content. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah. The Division 2 coming out also this year,
another big one.
And there's a lot of excitement behind that one as well. Maybe not as big as Anthem, which is why I put it next. Yeah, basically. I still think, considering the success of Division 1, I think this would be a perfect. I think obviously Ubisoft is going to learn from whatever mistakes that they made. A lot of people, well, you know what I mean.
That made me laugh.
No, you know what I mean. I'm talking about from the Division,
Ubisoft,
not their overall mistakes.
Yeah, no, exactly. Because Ubisoft is still got Ubisoft.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about the mistakes that they made with the first Division.
Yeah.
There was a lot
definitely a more refined product.
Correct. There was a lot of maybe a little bit of what do you call it? People were a little bit taken back by the fact that they kind of laid out this roadmap of content and all that, and it's just like, at first you go, what the hell is it? Why is this thing? It was like, we all know that you have to have this roadmap. So I think it's very smart of them to say, we hear you.
Yeah.
We'll probably have people who will blow through everything really quick within the first 20 days.
Yeah.
But at least we have something coming little by little after that. So that I want to think is going to be another one that
one. I'm optimistic on it also because of just like you mentioned, the Division 1 did so great. It is competing heavily against Anthem, which for intended purposes is something that is completely new, and the gameplay so far looks pretty cool. The thing with Division 2 is that it even though it will be new, it's a different setting and all that, but it's still the Division 1 that you know. So I don't see it. Like it's gonna play second fiddle definitely to Anthem.
Yeah.
That
I think so too.
I
think so too.
Yeah, that's.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I mean, unless they just get this amazing overhaul, I think so too. So from there, we got a couple smaller ones, some of which I'm not even sure will have complete quote unquote game as service.
Oh, it doesn't matter because early access now qualifies against service.
Exactly. You have Skull and Bones, which we all know is going to be an online.
That thing. Oh yeah, I guess it's online.
Yes, it is.
I was hoping that it was gonna. Well, it has single player content.
It does have single player content, but it also have an online content as well.
I really like the naval aspect of Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yeah.
So hearing that a game that is that exclusive and gives me, it gives me the impression that, of course, they're going to flesh that out even more, even further. It's going to be cool. Those ships looked amazing. That water looked amazing in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So this is one game that I'm actually looking forward.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll still wait to see.
Of course, yeah.
But it's definitely on my radar.
Nice.
On my radar.
Another one is, and this, again, these are all...
And I don't like pirate games.
Well, you should, because pirates are awesome.
No,
so
not. Ninjas are great. Pirates sucks.
Whatever. Ninjas are,
ninjas are great.
No,
pirates suck.
Samurai
Pirates are terrible.
Fuck
No, ninjas. Ninjas. That's what's been always been the battle. Pirates versus ninjas. Samurais are nowhere to be found. It's not the same era anyway.
What do you mean it's not the same era? Anyway, World War Z. Excuse me, World War Z. I know you don't know about it much. I know. You give me that look. You're like, what the hell are you talking about? So World War Z is actually almost like a Left 4 Dead, basically. Actually, pretty much like a Left 4 Dead, But obviously, it's online. It's multiplayer. It's another one that will obviously have content to keep it going. That's a smaller one. Who knows? That could be that could get drowned out.
I feel like the reason I make the face is because I've heard. There have been so many games that have come out here that we're not even mentioning.
Yeah.
Of course, this is 2019.
2019.
For example, 2018, we had a similar game like that based on the Warhammer, and it was a great game. Actually,
the Warhammer series.
The Warhammer series. Yeah, I'm forgetting the name of the particular game, but it was actually kind of like a Left 4 Dead type of co-op, shooter, and it was great. It received very good reviews. It looked pretty good. And we didn't hear anything about it.
Yeah.
And there's also the Walking Dead shooter thing that came out. I don't know.
Overkill.
Yeah, there you go.
Overkill's The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Did that came out already?
I
thought it was 2019.
That's the question. Who knows?
I thought that was 2019.
No, I think that came out already.
It came out already.
I want to say I could be wrong, but yeah.
It could be. Let us know.
In any case. Come on.
I gotta ask you this because, well, it's EA, so I gotta ask you this. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
That's not a 2019 game.
Yes, it is. According to the guy who sat in the audience being interviewed by such and such, said it's 2019.
Yeah, so that means 2020.
Yeah.
You should know this. You have
sure. Since he said 2019, I have to include it on this list. Obviously, this is a game from the same makers of
Battlefield 1, 2.
Titanfall 2. Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you think this? This being EA,
yes.
Do we see as a little bit of a service thing happening here as well? Probably.
This is gonna be more Battlefield 5 played very.
Battlefront 2, I think we could also say is another one of the losers from back in the day.
That was from back in the days. Like, who cares about... Yeah. Actually, that will be the loser because that's the one that
led to all the shit. Yeah,
that's the one that led to nations, entire nations,
Yes.
to start considering the
Questioning
ban
this, yes.
of loot boxes. And hey, I still approve a ban on loot boxes, but that's just me. So you can comment your hate if you like. What was I gonna say?
Well, other than the fact that you believe it's coming out in 2020.
Yeah, no. When Battlefield 5 came out, they played it very, very safe with the microtransactions stuff. I feel like they still need to, because they still need to prove themselves that that no, they're not doing a Battlefront 2.
So you think this one will be a little bit more?
It's gonna be. Yeah, it's gonna be on the up and up. I can't say it's gonna be a great game or anything like that. I'm hoping
obviously.
because it's Respawn.
We haven't seen anything about it, so we have no idea.
And Respawn made an amazing, arguably one of the best first-person shooters of the recent decade, and that was ignored because people suck. And that that game, even Titanfall 2. Was a game where you didn't see the abusive behavior of EA when it came to microtransactions. And I feel like after the Battlefront 2 backlash, I think they're going to be very careful to hit that again. Also, they still have FIFA, a game that evidently nobody's complaining about.
Yeah.
So they're playing it safe. They can afford to play it safe.
All right. So those are the ones that we have confirmed. Obviously, I'm sure throughout the year we'll hear more new ones coming in and out. What do you think is from any of those? Do you think any of those will fail this year? I mean, obviously, I think if Anthem does not live up to everything they're talking about, it will be dead by the year's end.
Not just Anthem, not just the property, but BioWare as a company
will be garbage
and that's sad because it's almost like. It's almost hard to guarantee a success. I mean,
we're shooting in the dark here, basically.
The thing here, the hype for Anthem is real. So at least we can take comfort in the fact that it's still gonna be probably a successful launch. And but then I mean,
from
there exactly. Who knows if the end game is enough? Like. If the content is enough to sustain it, because you got to be thinking about it. This game can make millions, and EA can still say, "Yeah, but it's underperforming because we were expecting billions."
Yeah, that's what we want.
So
our bar is up here, and it didn't reach it.
Yeah.
Do you think this is the final question? Do you think any of the survivors so far, the ones coming over from the prior years, do you think any of the one seems to be falling? I actually think they're doing strong. I don't think any of. I think
the ones are the ones that we declare losers, or the
winners. Yeah.
Oh, the winners. No, actually, I honestly think this is. I mean, Fortnite is unstoppable. At this rate,
it will. I'm sure at some point taper off.
At some point, it's going to taper off.
But it won't. Yeah, it may not go away.
Not gonna. They're going to get their comeuppance, but it's not going to be. It's not going to be this year.
2019. Yeah.
It's not going to be 2019. This thing is like Minecraft. Minecraft, yes, you don't hear a lot, but it's still going, and it's still making ragged money. So that's why I think this property is like here to stay.
I agree.
Also, Epic, they're smart. They're smart at conducting business.
PUBG also. We didn't mention PUBG, but PUBG is still out there. It's still, I know. I feel bad too.
Everybody forgot about PUBG suddenly.
Oh, PUBG.
No, poor PUBG. If anything, I hate to say it, but I almost will put PUBG on the losers category just because.
Really?
Yeah, because I feel like the environment around that game is one of this game is still janky, and we need you guys to help us fix it. Like I think there was literally I remember seeing a while back. There's literally a website that is like fixpubg.gov or whatever the hell it is. It's something like that. Fix PUBG, like where it's noble that they're asking about that, but I feel like it's a little bit too late to be asking for feedback from the community when your main community it's actually now playing other games, mainly Fortnite, but other games. Now I'm not saying that you are a total failure because you're obviously doing very well.
Yeah, yeah,
and all that.
It is everywhere. It's on mobile. It's on mobile. Doing stuff,
It's and recently came out on PS4 on December.
That was in December. I thought it wouldn't happen yet.
It's
already out there.
It's already out.
That says a lot, then, doesn't
it? A PlayStation
centric guy
does not know that
I knew it was coming,
out.
but I didn't know it was already out. And the funny thing I was going to say, when it comes out, I think I might. There it is, it's already there. Oh well, my $15 went to GTA. Sorry, PUBG.
Money well spent. I still believe money very well spent.
Yes. Yes, you do. All right, guys. Well, was there anything else you want to add to that, sir?
I'm gonna drop it, but I'm gonna drop it on my final words.
Okay, very good. So this is the end of an awesome episode 142, the real episode 142. Thank you so much for tuning in. As I mentioned before, please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone. And also, go to goodgame.tech and join the conversation there. Those who are in goodgame.tech, bring your friends over to goodgame.tech and join
we'll
the
pay
conversation.
You a referral if you follow this link.
Yes, it is David Santos' website. Let me give it to his email address so you give it to you. No, seriously, we definitely would love to have you aboard. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening. This is Arnaldo, a.k.a. Mad Dog, signing off for this week. Mr. Santos, give us your final thoughts.
All right, so my final thoughts is this is going to be the reveal, like in the movie that you watch that suddenly it's like, he was a ghost all the time. Shit, I did not know. Yeah,
spoilers
this is for whatever movie it is. Yes. Yeah, bro, it turns out that all your games, you didn't notice this, but all of them are game as service now. All of them. You did not notice this. You did not notice this. But I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay, talk to me, sir.
As you have seen lately, most games now come in a stage in an incomplete stage.
Yes,
expecting you to have an internet connection so you can download the extra content, not the extra content, the main content that should have been pressed on that disc, but there wasn't time because you don't need to do that anymore because now we're okay with the patching, and all that. And you got games like Battlefield 5, which had 2 or 3 or more portions of the game completely out. And this goes as far back as even Street Fighter 5 when it came out. How did it come out? It was incomplete. If you didn't have the internet, do you think you would have had you would have received? And
you would have when the newest updated version came to this 2 years later. Yeah.
And what are they doing? They are selling it to you for money because games cost money. These games are not free to play. These games are cost money. So if we already established that a game as a service primary goal is to get your money.
Yes.
No, well, it's the irrefutable fact. That is the definition of games as a service because otherwise gaming companies wouldn't be pursuing this. Gaming companies are not doing this for the goodness of their heart. It's all about money.
Yeah.
So that's why yes, Dream Twister David Santos has established the primary definition of games as services as I tell you I was gonna drop it as the primary goal of it is to make money by selling you stuff and DLC and all that. That is the primary goal of the game as service structure. It is not gameplay. It is not extra content. It is not yes, that is an integral part, but they're doing that because of the money, and that's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that unless it gets abused like EA. And if it gets done like Warframe, then we're cool because Warframe and Digital Extreme have been very nice. But
for 5 years, yes, they have been
for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
But yes, every game that you own right now, that even the ones that you didn't think, the fact that they are releasing this stage of brokenness to me means that
So to me,
they are well, when I say to me,
They are all games
they
as
are
services.
they are an irrefutable fact that they're all games as services. Thank you very much. Now you can sleep soundly knowing that everything you
That
own
is a service game.
belongs to them.
The only retort I have for that, sir, is
No return. We're ending this. Yay!
Nintendo
Oh,
Switch games from Nintendo. They are always complete.
Yeah. Oh no. Yes. Except for Nintendo.
Thank God for
Thank
Nintendo.
God for Nintendo. Thank God for Nintendo. Definitely, they want the pure company
Yeah.
out there.
Yes. It's still
Yes.
a 100-year-old company.
An
on top of that.
100-year-old. Well, they're the ones that the prophecy talk about.
Yeah, that's just right.
The one that will liberate us.
Prophesizing this for 100 years.
Either that or they were they're corrupt because they say they were flexible. They're willing to change with technology and yada yada.
True.
So we're gonna be like, you were the chosen one. You were supposed to join. You were supposed to defeat EA, not join them.
Yes. Nice. Oh, that's great. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. GG.